That's Jeezy.
It's Young Jeezy.
That's Jeezy, bro. Come on, man. Come on, boys. Right. Hit record. We hit stream.
Oh, you're good? We started?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh
Oh
my,
my goodness.
bro. Congratulations, bro. I'm wearing white because this is the first podcast in May. Officially springtime.
Shut the fuck
Hey!
up. Shut the fuck up.
I gotta check the stream. I gotta check the stream, guys. And then I gotta send out the link to my homies.
I put on.
Bro, I had all this money bet on the Lakers to win this. I guess I gotta go back to work tomorrow.
You're just a simple goy like that. You love goy slop. You love slopping it up. Oh my
No,
goodness.
bro, please
Could
stop.
never be me.
Bro, please stop, bro.
I'd never consume goy slop.
our friend Jake hates that word. It's really funny. When I was hanging out with him, and I kept saying it, and he's like, he's like, please stop. He just hates it.
Why?
I just think it's like being thrown around so much online that
What is he, one of those guys where it's like, it's not the Jews, it's Israel?
no, I don't know about that, but I just think I just think he hates it. He's just like, dude, oh man,
Dude, I would have grabbed him by his shirt and been like, "Can you just shut the?"
you're freaking, bro. I want to go over just some housekeeping. Um, not like actual housekeeping, but I kept thinking about the idea that you had, um, to delete all the episodes and start fresh from.
That was the idea you had.
No, it was not.
No, no, no.
No,
You
no, it
told
wasn't.
me, what if we just stopped?
Oh no, no.
You said, what if
I
we
said it because
made the final episode of
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Like, why would we do that? And you were like, oh, well, I'm not the hugest fan of our content and all this, the live streams and everything. And I was like, well, if that's the case, why don't we just delete the full live streams and keep the clip? And you were like, oh, I love that idea. That was you.
No, 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 no.
What do you mean, no?
No, 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 no. I was joking around saying like, oh, we should like we should just stop the podcast and end it as like a like, oh, let's just have the final one and be like,
That's what you
we're
said.
done. Yeah, yeah. Which I thought
And
was
then
kind of a funny.
I just said this. You said that. And then I put the idea of deleting the old ones, keeping the clips.
Yeah,
And you liked it.
but I thought it was funny the idea of like starting from scratch all over again. The stream is buffering really bad,
Oh man.
so that's what
It'll just give it a minute.
I'm trying here, guys. You know, I've got I've got poor kid Wi-Fi. You know.
Yeah, he's broke. I could never be broke. I'm pretty broke.
The audio when you said fuck, when you said shut the fuck up was peaked. It just didn't even take it. The mic didn't pick it up at all.
It was just
The
silent.
fuck part. You went so loud. It went off the charts. You know.
Well, if that's the case, why
You
don't
know.
we just delete the full live streams and keep the clip? And you were like, oh, I love that.
Tragic. This damn live stream doesn't work, bro.
That's working pretty well.
It keeps buffering.
It is buffering, but
It keeps buffering, bro. It's making me sad, bro.
of deleting the old ones, keeping the clips. Yeah. And you liked it.
But I thought it was funny the idea of like starting from scratch. Hold on, let me try to fix something here. That's not.
It'll just give it.
I'm trying here, guys. We've got poor kid. It's going, but it's not going well. That's the sad part. I'm really trying to you know compromise here with that.
Yeah, it's weird because like the audio is just fine, but it just buffers so
Yeah,
aggressively.
yeah. You went so loud. It went off the charts. You know.
fuck it, we ball. It'll fix itself.
It'll be all right. Let's just not worry about it and
Yeah,
just
let's
go.
not worry about it.
Let's just go because you know what's really important is the clips.
Yeah, that's all we care about.
The clips is all that matters, and you know, it's just how it is sometimes. You know what I mean? And I bet by the time I'm done worrying about this, it's gonna be all green bar right here in front of me. Um, and yeah, it's gonna be all good. It's gonna be like completely fine.
What do you mean green bar?
Look at this is what I look at. Like when it's when it's going perfectly, this is green bar frames. Um,
Oh,
it gets all green. You know what I mean? And that's how I know it's going good. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, whatever.
Yeah, fuck it. What are you gonna do?
Fuck you, who cares?
I don't. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I don't
You
care.
know, right? It's called not giving a shit.
If you
And
want to hear what we have to say, you'll listen.
true that.
There
But
could be a video of you know this guy on his knees
yeah,
just begging for anything. You
gobbling
know,
up shit.
eating a foot long hot dog full of melted cheese and chili, getting all over his face.
Bro, stop, bro,
But
please.
it wouldn't matter if you just listened to what we had to say.
Bro, it's not true, bro. Oh wait, it's green now.
Green now?
Um,
Oh, there we go. Need the green, baby. Need the green.
it'd
See,
be
we got
great.
one viewer.
Yeah, it's me.
No, but we have three, and it's me, you, and someone else.
Oh yeah, I sent to the group chat that I'm in. So like we'll see.
Wonder who's in
Yeah,
that. You don't have to
it's
tell me
just
now.
it's all
But
good people, good guys, you know.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
but yeah, like
No,
so
down to two. It's just us.
oh, it's buffering.
No, there's Spesh. Glizzy no bun, eh?
If someone said that, glizzy no bun.
That's what
I
Spesh said.
I
Yeah,
would I would never do such a thing on here. But yeah, no,
I've
I want
seen him do it. He's just
eating a hot
lying.
dog.
Just no bun.
Oh, never.
Glizz straight to the throat.
No, never. Never in my life I would do
So
such a
you ever
thing.
tell a chick? You ever walk up to a chick, right? And instead of flirting, you just go straight to, "Yo,
Suck my cock.
let me spit in your butt." You ever do that?
That's like that you ever see that Side Talk NYC? It's like what they're all about.
No. Oh yeah, actually, yeah,
Speaking of them, just like them screaming about like the Knicks.
yeah. Yeah.
Screaming on the
That one dude
sidewalk.
crying. We got Brunson. We got Big Purr. The heart of New York. We got Josh Hart. And like everyone's freaking out around him.
Yeah, they're like crying.
Level 10 hot dogs.
I mean, they've been waiting what 50 years for a championship team, so
Yeah. This is like their only chance.
it really is. It truly is. But I mean, I'm hoping and praying. You
You
know,
don't care.
no, I don't.
You don't care.
Not really. Won't be any skin off my ball sack.
You have no ball sack.
It's
You
not
have a
true,
vagina.
bro. Fuck you.
We got some cool beer today. I brought us
Oh yeah, show him the dill pickle
this is the
beer.
last one, but we got the pickle beer. And then we got some wine and cookies. You know the vibes.
You know the
Little
vibes.
summer shandy. It's getting nice out. All right, bro.
No, no, I'm just trying to think of I'm just trying to keep I had a full brain midday when I was texting you. I was like, are we doing the show? Are we doing the show? And I was like, I had a full brain crackling with ideas to talk about,
Well, it
you
was
know.
one of them.
Well, one of them was the thing I was talking about earlier before we started shooting where I've been watching like these nerds on YouTube talk about fucking talk about like
Right? Pickle beer. What's the topic tonight? Zach G wants to know. Continue. I'm
oh yeah,
sorry.
we're getting to it. Don't worry. But yeah, I was talking to you beforehand. I was like, I don't know why I keep getting into this shit. Like where it's like, you know, these nerds. They're like have a podcast, right? And you know, they have a podcast. They just sit there and they talk about Marvel movies all day. And each of them have their own separate YouTube channel. And I go and click on the one guy's, and his whole channel is just him crying to like trailers You know, like Stranger Things
Yeah, he's just
trailers.
crying.
He's just like his whole thing. It just reminded me of like that meme of like the guy who's like watching the last Star Wars trailer of like the last, you know, that
I don't
classic.
know that meme, no.
It's like this classic meme where the guy's like he's like looks like low T Chud, and he's just like bawling his eyes out at like BB-8 and R2D2. And like this guy's whole channel is that where he's like watching a Spider-Man channel, and he's just like the whole time crying. Like at the end, he's like, "All right, guys, let's check this out." By the end of it, crying, crying.
You know,
Eyes-
my brother,
yeah.
and I'm not gonna say his name or anything, but when How I Met Your Mother finished, it was done.
Oh yeah.
Made like a 3-hour reaction video that is on YouTube to this day
So good.
about that.
So
Now,
good.
I've never actually watched it.
We're gonna watch it after this. We got 3 hours to spare.
We don't. We really don't.
I want to see his
Um,
analysis of the show.
You can do that in your free time, brother.
Well, I might. I
Go
sometimes
ahead.
I have a lot of free time. Well,
You
I've got a
do.
lot
You
of.
do nothing, bro. You're just
I
a
sit at my off.
disgusting idiot.
I do nothing.
You do nothing. You have your shitty job where you do nothing, and then you come home and you do nothing. Um, you're blasting your fucking pocket pussy all the time, blasting that
There's
shit.
only one
Oh
person.
my goodness.
Excuse me, there's only one person in this room that has a pocket pussy, and I'm not gonna say who it is.
I don't have a pocket pussy.
thought you-
So you have a pocket
No,
pussy?
no, no. I thought you did.
I don't have a pocket pussy.
I thought you had like a fleshlight.
No. That's what a pocket pussy is. I don't know why you changed the word.
Oh,
I don't. No.
yeah, you're sounding. I mean, I don't have to admit anything, but you sound like you're really defending yourself.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying I don't.
I thought you got like that silicone ass that you're fucking.
Yeah, that'd be mad funny.
I should. Like a jiggly that fucking at your house. It's under your pillow, like the tooth fairy's gonna come stay later.
Actually use it as the pillow.
Yeah, you go to bed.
Just
Oh,
this big jiggly
oh.
butt. It's leaking my
Yeah, I was gonna say
bust.
your bust. That's so
I'm just
disgusting.
sleeping in it. Wake up every morning with crusty hair.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That'd be horrible. Yeah, no, I was just making the point about How I Met Your Mother, like that whatchamacallit, like that show, like the whole premise is some guy is explaining to some child how I met your mother. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole show.
I don't know. I've never watched the show.
I,
watched
I I've
clips.
I've really never watched most of it. I've never watched any of it either.
All I really know is the Sheldon's a brainiac.
That's not even the same show.
That's the show I'm talking about. It's
Oh, you're
not-
talking about the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
As soon as you said Sheldon, I was like, no. It's on Sheldon.
Yeah, no, we are not talking about How I Met Your Mother.
Okay, never mind.
Now I'm confusing the two. I don't know. Maybe it was that show.
I don't know.
I feel like it was the one with Sheldon.
Well, is Sheldon a grown up or there's
He's a grown up. No,
Okay,
it's not young,
young Shel-
Sheldon.
this
This video my brother made came out way before Young.
Okay. That's
It's
probably
almost
the
like an
worst.
OG YouTube video.
That's probably the worst video ever, or the most worst show ever. Is Young
You
Sheldon.
love that show.
No, I hate that
No,
show.
you were telling me
Oh yeah, I kept reading the clips that I was.
no.
entertained.
You hung out with this guy we know, and you told me he put you on to Young Sheldon. And you were
Oh,
watching
you're talking about Rich.
and
He-
then I
he-
was making fun of you
No, we
because I
were
was
here.
like, bro, that show is the worst.
You don't understand. We were going back and forth from different shows. We were making fun of fucking Tulsa King. Great show to make fun of, by the way. Great show to make fun of. Absolutely the dumbest show you'll ever see. We were watching that, and then we jumped to Young Sheldon, and we jumped to an episode that he was like, "Oh, this is like the best." Like,
Entertainment is fucked.
They have
the
no
only
original
good
ideas.
entertainment today is video games. Everything else sucks. Sports suck. Nobody hits each other anymore.
these guys in
Movies
basketball are
suck. They
actors.
all fail.
Mm.
The only thing with true creativity is video games now, and like it works because there's competition involved.
I
So it
mean,
riles people up.
I would say yes and no.
Yeah, I know you would.
Well, I'm just saying because like there's also like just AI junk in video games. Like we witness it firsthand. Like Call of Duty packs that just have like AI slop in them, and
Well, yeah, but that's kind of like the movies where it's like starting to not make as much money as they thought.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would not necessarily just agree with that.
It's all we have is video games for now.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, but you're a stupid idiot that has no foresight in the future.
I
That
gotta
one guy
post that
was
on
saying.
Instagram.
You do.
That guy saying that comment.
If you guys didn't know, so he did a solo pod because I was dying,
Bro,
according to
you
him.
were laid up and you were laid up
I had a
on your you were on your deathbed, bro.
yeah, I had the new virus that's on that cruise or whatever, and I was dying.
Zach says and books. I was gonna bring up and books because books are actually the peak of entertainment.
What, smut?
Yep. No books. You were saying there's no good books, basically. I'm assuming that is that what you said? Is that what you meant, Zach?
I hope that's what he meant, because I don't know a single dude, single person in general, being like,
Books.
yo, this book, bro, this shit was fire, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really read a book in a while, but
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
don't read.
I mean, neither do you. So what do you read, bro?
You just were playing CS, bro, don't lie. Not today.
Yeah, he was playing CS like 2 minutes ago.
I did play one game
Like what?
like 8 hours ago.
Like
No, no,
when you were
like
supposed to be at
10
the liquor
hours
store
ago.
at 2:02. So you popped in a quick game. Yeah, I'll just pay one.
Yes.
I'll just play a quick one real quick.
No, I mean, all we have left is books. False. Not for entertainment. For information, 100%. Books are fantastic. But for entertainment, it's like,
I
it's
think
kind of old school. There's plenty of books that do well, don't get me wrong. Um, but it's like, dude,
the
like
blockbuster book.
so many books are just like the reason books are such a big reason why books are still alive today is because of like fat chicks reading smut. You laugh, but that's true.
I mean, that is
You
a big
laugh, but that's
that is a
true.
big seller, yeah. No, but like
And then they want to act like they're not addicted to porn. All they do is fucking read smut books
but like
and fucking
a girl smut book has like there'll be like some like convoluted plot in there where like the wolf guy bangs the chick who like hates him or something, you know. But realistically, I mean, I'm gonna defend books real quick because books, in my opinion, are the highest form of entertainment
yeah.
because
No, I'm
because
not gonna disagree with that.
because books are the only form of entertainment where like you literally have to use your brain and like visualize what you're reading, and every single person basically is going to get a different experience. So like say if you read Dune or something like that, or like I don't know, some kind of other fucking stupid ass book, like some kind of fiction book or something like that, you would get a different thought and like visualization out of each person who read that book. And like movies, video games, music, no one else is exactly getting that. Like there's kind of a
Yeah.
science broken down into each individual thing where it's like, oh well, music.
Well, I'd say music is a little different because there's some real serious music. People out there that would like they take a song, like a new song from one of the artists they listen to, and they're like really like piece by piece, like taking it apart and trying to understand. And it's kind of like what's based off of how they feel. Where it's like, the meaning of a song to one person is completely different to the meaning of a song of another
Oh
person.
yeah, I agree with that 100%.
So like I wouldn't clump music into that, but everything else I would.
Well, I mean, I
You
was
know?
talking more about the scientific part where it's like rhythm and like beat making and like what people consider like a great like rhythm or a great like rhyme or anything like that. That's like kind of almost scientific. Same with like visual shots like with filmmaking or TV where it's like this is a really intricate shot or this is a really brilliant shot because it does X, Y, and Z. And any, you know, film professor or some cinematographer can be like, oh well, like say for example, like this character is in the shadow. He's in the dark because he turned to the dark side,
Yeah.
right? Like you could be standing in the like in the background or the foreground where he's just in a shadow. He like the shadow's overtaking him. He's like, oh, that's the visualization. Oh, he's evil now. Like everyone would get the same thing out of that essentially.
Yeah.
But if you're describing like a world, right, like a sci-fi world, or like say like even Harry Potter or some Game of Thrones or whatever, everyone's gonna get like a different visualization in their brain, and that's why it's the best because it kind of like lets you do whatever you want with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know. But I mean that shit's dog shit because GTA is the best because you can literally do whatever you want, bro. You
Yeah,
can
dude.
steal a car, bro, and then go to the strip club. Do you
Yeah,
think we'll ever get GTA 6 or? I don't think we will.
for sure.
You think so?
Yeah. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, you're right.
What do you
They
mean?
already spent like what, $25 billion
What
on
kind
it.
of a question is that even? You
I'm
think
wondering.
we'll ever get you think I'll get my paycheck at the end of the week? You think
What
this
kind of
movie, you think
question
this
is
movie
that?
that's coming out is gonna come out? Yo, if I sit in front of my stove and put a piece of meat on the pan and the burner's on, do you think it'll cook?
Do you think it'll rain soon?
Yeah, like what are we, bro? We should cancel the pod, honestly.
This should be the last episode.
It's just buffering again like crazy.
I know.
Holy fuck!
Well, it's green here, so I have faith that people are
Need the green.
people are seeing it and being like, okay, it's going.
It's going so poorly. This podcast sucks.
No, bro, we got 1,000 views on the Jeffrey Epstein. The Jeffrey Epstein Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, bro, because you're a retard.
It's so
You're like,
funny.
bro, but the iron lung guy, he can't vote.
This fucking thing I'm talking about at all.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Remember we were talking about Stephen King and Jeff Epstein?
We
Jeffrey
were, we
Epstein?
were not talking about Stephen
Or
King.
no, fucking
Yeah, that's what
Stephen
I'm saying.
Hawking.
That
Stephen Hawking.
conversation came up because of voting.
Mm.
And I was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
yeah. And you were like, oh, bro, but what about the iron lung guy?
Jack wants to know why he has a crown. I don't know. It's the first
Because you're
person.
the number one commenter on
Yeah.
this stream.
I mean, yeah.
Bro,
All right,
you're a
it's
dumbass,
no,
bro.
no, I'm not, bro.
You
What are you
are,
talking
you
about?
are.
Why is that stupid?
What do you mean, why is it stupid?
Why is it? Why am I a
You
dumbass?
can't even comprehend the stupidity of what you were saying.
You're like the guys that comment that go against my comment on the Spider-Man video I commented on, where it's like this movie's dog shit, and they're like, oh, so all Marvel movies are dog shit. You're dumb.
No, you're
That's you.
just dumb because you're commenting on Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm slopping. Yeah, that's what I do. I comment on shit.
Boy, swapping it up.
Yeah, bro.
Um,
You know what I want to talk about? Because a friend of ours. Why,
oh, I
bro?
just don't care, dude.
What do you not care about,
Oh,
bro?
what though? What?
What are you gonna say instead?
Oh,
You're,
what
you're
were
just
you gonna
gonna
say,
have
bro?
some garbage dribble out of your mouth instead
No,
of
no,
what I was gonna say.
we were talking about the voting thing, with
Well, I don't care about that anymore. That was last episode. You gotta
yeah,
talk
but
about
like
something new.
yeah, but my point stands that you're a dumbass.
You're the one who's railing against disabled people. You were. You're like, fuck them. You're basically saying fuck them.
You called him Stephen King, bro.
You miss. I misspoke about the
What?
man's
Say
name.
his name.
And you know
Say
what?
his name, bro.
They're
Say
both
his
dead.
name, bro. Say
They're
his
both
name.
dead anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Say his name, bro.
Stephen Hawking.
There you go. See, you stuttered.
Well, I was thinking
You
Stephen
couldn't
King.
even remember his name.
Well, he's dead. I don't care anymore. Like I don't. I need to
So
care about
you
him
don't
who's
care
alive.
about disabled people,
I don't care about that one
especially when they
specific-
die.
I don't care about that one specifically because he also went to Epstein's Island, and who knows what he was doing. So
Well, he was.
I'm allowed to write him off completely.
Was that one Epstein file real where he's like in a dress being held? You know what I'm talking about?
Stephen Hawking. I almost said
Yeah.
Stephen King again. I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about or no?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think that photo was AI because that would have been.
You think
nuts.
so?
Definitely.
No, you say
Imagine-
you say. 'Cause I think that would have been nuts, but like, this is something a lot of people do where it's like, dude, everything is nuts in the Epstein files.
No, that is true, and also like Bill Gates, for instance, who's been to Epstein's Island a bunch of times and apparently caught like an STD from there. He owns like 1/3 of the major media corporations in the world.
Yeah.
Like MSNBC. I don't even know if that's the same name of the company anymore, but MSNBC is literally just Microsoft,
You think Bill Gates deserves to go to jail?
probably,
For what?
for being a dumbass.
No, get into it, bro. Come on. Come on.
I mean, I don't know. His company probably should have been broken up in the early 2000s for yeah. The government should have came in and probably broke them up for fucking monopolistic practices. We probably would have had better computers if more people were allowed to compete.
What about his financing into the usage of ticks? How do you feel about that? Do you know about
Oh
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean that's pretty criminal as well. You know, like there's a whole islands, right, or something like that. Full of
Yeah, there
ticks.
is. I forget the name of the island,
It's
but
right off the
yeah.
coast of like Connecticut or something like that. I think it's
Is
a small or Maine or something. It's somewhere up in like New England. Um,
but is it not weird? So Bill Gates invests into genetically modifying ticks
Mm.
to spread certain things that quote unquote scientists feel like would be good for the public
Right.
if it spreads to humans. And now the number one issue with ticks as of recently is the Lone Star tick giving off this disease that makes you allergic to meat, almost deathly allergic in some cases. And he's also investing in synthetic meat that is not affected by the disease. So basically, he's investing in ticks that make you allergic to meat and then investing in fake meat that you would never be allergic to. Is this not weird?
I mean,
Because
I
this is
100%.
kind of to me, this is like some shit you'd hear in a movie, but it's real.
This is like literally a plot of a disaster movie or something, or like some kind of apocalyptic film where the you know,
May I chat with y'all in a little, perhaps like on call?
yeah,
Sure.
yeah, why not?
Yeah, why
Well, our
not?
first call in. There we
Be
go.
interesting. Yeah,
See, the podcast is alive. Someone's calling in.
it's so dead. We don't have a single clip yet.
What are you talking about? We don't have a clip. It's gonna be clipped right here. This is gonna be clipped. I'm gonna clip this right here. You see this? Hold on. Get in here.
It's gonna be like a 5 view clip.
Clip right here. Dude, the fucking one of our most popular clips is me saying I'm proud of the podcast. No, I'm proud. I'm proud. And that got 1,000 likes. No, it didn't. 1,000 views.
Yo, don't forget the giveaway, guys.
Yeah, Jason's
If
gonna
we get
buy.
$100,000, 100,000 likes on this short right here, right now, we're giving away a PS5, brand new, with NBA 2K26. Leave a like, leave a comment, and you'll be entered. That's it. You don't even have to subscribe.
No, please subscribe.
You don't have to though.
Like and subscribe. Yeah, I think Bill Gates should be in jail. I mean, probably most of the billionaires in this country should probably be locked up. And I'm not trying to say that in like an anti-capitalistic way, but like they do like do fucked up shit. They're not like fair market players most of the time, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Sport sucks,
you called
bro.
them Steve. I'm laughing at the pod as I'm listening to it. You said we're talking about how you're like you called him Stephen King.
Did
That's
call him
funny.
Stephen King.
Fuck you. How about you shut your fucking mouth, stupid ass?
All right, bro. This guy thinks I'm threatened or some shit. Like, look at him.
Bro,
Look at him.
I'm shivering in my
Look at
boots,
yourself, dude.
bro.
You ever look
You,
in the mirror and look at yourself?
I'm proud.
I wouldn't be.
I know you feel like a big guy because you wear your like 1.5 inch Hokas here today. So
You think I feel like a big guy? I don't feel like anything, bro.
exactly.
You're thinking of that kind of stuff because you're just so like focused on your image and like how you like portray yourself to people. It's like, dude, I'm just being. You're like, oh, bro, like, dude, I need to seem like a Giga Chad to the viewers.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
I think you're thinking about me more than I think about me.
no, that's not true.
It is true.
You think about yourself every day. Do you specifically don't look at yourself in the mirror because you don't want to be reminded of what kind of a beta that you are?
Are you sure this is not like how you feel about yourself? You're like, I better not look in the mirror. I better just like roll out of bed and go
You
right to work.
just you guys should debate.
I think we are. I don't know what we're debating about.
Yeah.
You just called me a beta cuck basically for no reason, and I was like, I don't think that's true.
So you're projecting again, bro. I never said cock.
Okay,
I didn't
beta.
say you're a
All
cuck.
right, you said beta, but you said cuck under your breath, Aaron.
You wish I did.
No, you didn't.
You wish. You wish. I'm gonna go take a piss.
That's a great idea. All right, I'm gonna call Zach. I'm gonna call Zach and get him
Yeah,
in
get
here.
that shit going. Get the call-in going.
Guys, we're gonna have our first call in ever. Guys, if you see that, this guy's got a little brown spot in the back of his white pants here. You know, it's not. That's not me. That's not me trying to make fun of the poor guy. But anyway, all right. Let's have our first call in here. Zach, why don't you call? Why don't you call us, man? Zach B. Zach Scrub. Zach is also a famous Twitch streamer, podcaster. You know, I'm gonna call Zach. I'm gonna call him real quick. See what's good. Because you know what? We've never had a call in before. I want to see if he answers. I think it's going good. I think it's a strong stream, in my personal opinion. You know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. I mean, Bill Gates is a criminal.
Email, right?
It's not even an answer. Fucking guy didn't even answer. Excuse me. What are you gonna do? You know? Oh, here he comes. First time caller, long time listener.
I was number one.
How'd you become number 2? I don't understand that. Oh yeah, I forgot. I watch on my own YouTube, my other YouTube channel. So I pop in. Let me know how the call is picking up on the mic. I really don't know how this is gonna work out. Like I don't know if they're gonna be able to hear you or not. Um, yeah, sure, why not? Oh yeah, that'd be great. I mean, like the buffering is like up and down because like I'm using a hotspot on my phone because I'm on the set here. So that's probably why it's like not like it keeps buffering. But yeah, I mean if you wanna give us a hand with the some of the audio visual, I mean I'm all ears, buddy.
Stream and play.
Hey,
I can't. It's great I'm talking to you. You're losing after viewership right now. So, need them.
that's fucked up. Why would you even
So
say
true
that?
though. But it's true.
Why would you even say that?
But it's true though. What's wrong with that? It's the truth.
Dude, I don't even want your help at this point.
He's trying to help us, bro. Bro's a pro streamer, bro. He's
Dude,
literally
it's connection based. We're buffering because we're in a shed outside away from the router.
Listen,
We need a Wi-Fi extender. I've said this many a times.
so go out and get one.
It ain't worth it, bro.
What do you need with it?
So how are you gonna help us then?
He says he's gonna help us with audio visual shit. He says like some of the audio could probably be, smoothed out. Probably get a crisper look in the camera.
Yeah, I've said that before. And this guy was like, "Oh, bro, I like the way it is, bro. I like it."
Bro, I mean, again, like like when am I supposed to have time for this? When am I supposed to have time?
You do nothing.
It's not true.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
not nothing.
We gotta hear it. Okay. We don't have to do audio video. Wait, just want to like. Okay.
No, he's just trying to big dog me right now, but he's like
I'm not
he
big
really
dogging you.
he
I'm
really
just,
he really
I'm
is.
just speaking the truth about the subject.
You started
What do you do,
mimicking
bro?
my voice.
What do
bro.
you-
What
You
was
started stuttering, bro, because you don't know what you're saying. It's simply put.
What is this? So I didn't get a chance to watch that. The minute and 47 seconds.
That's like
Oh
the
yeah.
worst video.
Oh no, that's the best clip ever. That is honestly the best clip I've ever thrown together. If you want to go ahead and watch that real quick before you help us out. Oh, that's the best. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, we can just keep talking. And while you're watching that, I can keep talking about how Bill Gates should be in jail. But yeah, I didn't.
You keep talking.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, like Bill Gates, I mean, this guy is a classic kind of like villain almost, where he's making synthetic meat. He's buying up farmland like China. I mean, this country's going to be sold to you know, foreign actors and billionaires before we even know it. You know what I mean? All the good, real American heartland is going to be gone. And it's not going to be owned by any real Americans. It's not the Iowa farm. It's not going to be like the guy who's like, you know those videos of the guys like betting on horses or not horses, like cattle. They're like in an auction. They got the placard. None of those guys are going to own
Well,
anything.
what's interesting to me is like Trump passed some sort of bill where it was like, oh, like corporate businesses or whatever aren't allowed to own more than like 300 and some private properties. You saw that?
No, I don't think he passed that.
You
I don't
didn't,
know
you
if
didn't even pass it?
I think he just like suggested. He just
No, no,
like,
people were saying that's a W, and in my head, I'm like, that's not a W.
what do you mean? Oh, I think he was basically talking about how corporations shouldn't own he was talking about private equity. So like the big problem like with the housing market, BlackRock.
Yeah, of course.
BlackRock is the biggest hedge fund in the world. Has $1 trillion worth of assets underneath itself. So it's controlling $1 trillion worth of, say stocks, bonds, and real estate. Like the big three. Either that's through REITs, which is a form of is like a stock market tool where you can kind of buy real estate through the stock market, or directly.
Yeah.
So Trump was basically saying, and I think this is what Trump does. Like he starts going down in popularity. He's a TV man. He's a TV man through and through.
Yeah.
He starts going down in popularity where it's like, oh, no one likes the war. No one likes what I'm doing. Everyone hates me. I'm going down, down, down. So then he starts talking about something that's popular in the zeitgeist, where it's like, oh, you know what we should do? We should do something about healthcare. We should do something about housing. And then we were like, oh yeah, I forgot Trump is like, I kind of like Trump because, and then it's like he just talks, he just like says it, and then like nothing really happens. Yeah. So that's
Something was passed though.
I mean, it could be possible. I don't know. I'm not
What?
100%, but I feel like I would have heard that because I'm I'm all over that shit all the time. You know, I'm constantly looking at where the market, because that would at least I think would be a big story in the real estate market, where you would see like home prices shrinking, and that at least leads to what I was thinking about with what I was going to talk about with real estate and stuff like that, where you know a friend of ours tagged me in a video, or tagged me in an Instagram video, and I quickly looked at it, and it was like this and I'm not trying to I appreciate he was like, oh, maybe you should check it, maybe you should buy this house where we live, in the next town over. And I looked at it, and it was just kind of like this flip job house. You know what I mean? You know what a flip is?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not trying to
No, no,
I'm not trying to offend
yeah.
you.
No, I was just sorry.
Chill, liberal. All right, it's called dark humor. But anyway,
Go dark humor.
Yeah,
bro.
dark humor. You would maybe understand it if worked a little bit harder.
yeah, if you worked with your hands and were blue collar, like me and Zach. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Right? Our collar's blue, but our necks are red. You ever heard about that?
No. I just lay in bed all day and eat food.
You probably lay in bed with David Jerkins and start massaging yourself.
Massaging. President Donald Trump signed an executive order aiming to stop Wall Street investors from competing with individual home buyers.
Was that like pretty please don't buy the houses?
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Let me read about this.
Guys, please don't. You know that family in Oklahoma that wants to start a family, that they want to have their third kid and they need a bigger house. Please don't buy that house and make put about put about $20,000 worth of paint in it and try to sell it for $100,000 more.
Trump's order on Tuesday directs his administration to issue guidance within 60 days to impose restrictions on the sale of single-family homes, according to the text of the order released by the White House. Order also calls for additional steps, including a direction to the Treasury Secretary to review the rules and guidance that relate to large institutional investors acquiring or holding single-family homes and consider revising.
Hmm. So, what does that mean?
It's a bunch of bullshit, bro.
Bunch of crap. That's
A
why I said.
bunch of
I mean,
bullshit.
like that was my point. I was like, he just like does. He just gets like unpopular, and he's like, "What if we talked about like something else? Like, people keep talking about my friend Jeff Epstein, and what if we talked about healthcare instead, guys? Guys, it's important. I'm gonna do something about it real soon." And then his banker friends call, and they're like, "Bro, don't, bro." Yeah, you can interrupt. It's not.
Made it worldwide. I think it's like
I don't know. Oh, that's Mikey, isn't it? Isn't Zoom Mike Mikey?
I don't know a Mike. I don't know any Mikes.
Well, that that's Mikey, bro. No, because it's 100% Mikey. See, Mike's happy the pod's back, bro, because he needs
I love Mikey, bro.
he needs this, bro.
Dude,
alright?
Mikey, I've been thinking about you, bro. A lot.
Okay,
Kind of. I'd admit it.
the you and Mike are gay together.
Yeah.
All right,
Zach, you don't know Mikey.
he does too. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's actually true. That's crazy lore. That's some shit I am not a part of. Left out. FOMO.
What do you mean? We all worked at the same place.
I didn't with them.
Not with them, no, but like you.
Is it Scrubby? It's not Scrooby?
No, it's Scrubby. Yeah, bro's a fake fan. Zach, he's a fake fan. He doesn't even know your fucking Twitch tag.
Zach, I was giving you 3 months.
We were playing Fortnite the other day.
The other day, I was playing,
Our friend Kyle dropped the C word.
What, fun?
No, you can't. Why would you say it?
So it was cunt.
No, it wasn't. It was a different C word.
maybe not say
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Wait.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, that's what I It's a word, bro. I respect it.
He was drunk. He was drunk, like eating. He was drunk, like taking shots of whiskey, eating Wendy's. He was dropping that.
Man, he needs
So respectful.
Dude, that's a good word, bro. You know, I think that word gets a lot of hate, and it shouldn't. Because it doesn't necessarily mean,
Yeah. What does it
you
mean?
know,
Go ahead. Disabled people was last week. Now it's gonna be this word. Like you're in a roll, dude. Like talking about me as the dumbass. I'm like, he's just going after anything.
you're dumb. You're dumb.
No,
I'm honest.
no.
That's
You're going after anything.
which I'm just as dumb as you for being honest. That's the thing.
What was that? What do you mean? Like, what does that mean exactly?
Well, I'm honest, which means that you know, people are gonna hate me, and you're just dumb, which
Okay.
means people are gonna hate you. So it's pretty simple. I don't know. A dumb guy wouldn't understand it. Hold up. Best thing Trump has done is that single-family home buying restriction on investors. Miss you, Scrubby. When you coming back? I need the podcast. Been thinking about you guys. Hopefully, we can all find time to shark this summer. Crew,
Ooh, it's a good idea.
me and this guy, hopefully some buddies, gonna make some fishing content. Big fisherman. Um, Sharking would be awesome. Now you guys are just talking in the chat. That's fine.
Scrubby, do you know if smoking is bad for viewership?
You know, Peter Wilson.
Huh? What'd you say?
I'd say no. I think it depends on the viewership. You know, it's like what podcast is meant for like little kids, where they're like, "Ooh, smoking's bad." If it were like cigarettes, chain smoking, you'd probably get a lot more hate comments. But like someone ripping a vape, whatever, it makes memes. Someone smoking a cigar, they're like, "Oh, that dude's chatting up." Yeah. See, people don't get that. See, like me and you get that. We talk about this, right? And Scrubby, you'd probably agree with this, where it's like interaction is better at smaller like levels than like a couple people who really fuck with you. In a sense where it's like appreciation, no, like we appreciate the people who watch us and think it's really cool what we're doing and everything. But it's like if we post the clip and it gets, a couple thousand views and like, 100 likes or whatever,
We've never gotten
and a bunch of people are hating on us, we still like that. We think that's really
Yeah, it's
cool.
hilarious.
It's really funny to us and it's really good for the channel because more people get recommended our stuff now, whether they're haters or not. And it's really good. I think that's a good thing to get hated on.
It's true.
Immediately recognize it. We're just two dudes who just are literally completely just do not give a fuck bullshitting in front of camera.
Yeah.
You have an AI.
Because none of us are, neither one of us are gonna sit down and actually edit. The
I was
only,
dying seeing these like lump like halo around them as their profile pic. It's fucking crazy.
Bro, my favorite part is it all started with I was talking about Venezuela before the whole Trump thing and taking Maduro and everything, right? Like I would just talk about Venezuela because I've like for like my whole life pretty much since I've been old enough to understand politics. I've been against, being so intertwined with like the Middle East and everything. I'm like, dude, that's halfway across the world. Why are we not trying to make deals with our neighbors and becoming friends with our neighbors? Obviously, Mexico is a big one, but I was always like Venezuela is one of the most, in a sense, nutrient-rich countries in the world, and it's right there next to us. And I was talking about how like why aren't we trying to make deals with them, help the people out because the people are suffering. And we made some clips of that, and I had Venezuelans kind of upset with me of blaming America for Venezuela's state, which if that's how you feel, you're a dumbass. But anyway, um I was like, it was like we were getting we got like maybe 12, 13 comments, and before that we only got like one or two, and I was like, dude, this is great.
no, there was like full blown debates going on in our like little clips,
Debating each other.
like debating each other, not
Yeah.
us intervening. We were like, wow, this is pretty cool. And that's what we're kind of getting into because it was like legit, just like probably like Cubans and Venezuelans debating each other about why socialism failed in South America.
Yeah, why it's good, why it's bad, how
Yeah.
the US ruined them and everything, and it's just like it's good stuff. I like when people hate not I like when people hate on us for the traction that we get, but I also like it for the opposing opinion that I could try to dissect. Where it's like they tell me that, and then I could look into it and see whether or not there's some sort of truth behind it, or if it's just some sort of propagated bullshit that some like low IQ idiot that has 1 million viewers on Instagram has pushed into your brain, and all you do is see an Instagram post and like it. You know,
Yeah.
which is it's interesting
No,
for
see, that's
me.
I mean, I, you know, I just can't believe, like, just on a side note, that we still have old Maduro in jail here. He's literally like one state over.
I know
You
that's
know,
something I
like,
thought about too, because it's like in my head when we took Maduro,
actually
I was
yeah.
like, well, this could be a good thing, but I don't really trust the American government in general. So I was like, we'll see where this goes. And it's like, I'm kind of curious. I haven't looked it up, and I don't know how much you could really find on like what's up with Venezuela? Like what's going on? Are the people's lives getting better, or are we just stealing their oil?
I mean, honestly, I think what probably happened, truly, like, because me and my dad, so much of like my political discourse is like I come home from work and then my dad has like Fox News on and like I'm just like talking to him about like what's going on. And I'm like, the Maduro thing had to be like an inside job, right? Like no one just like takes their president without like the vice president, the next person in line being like, okay, sounds good, just take him, and I'll be in
That's
charge.
an interesting way to put it.
I'm just saying, it's like
No, I like that.
I'm just saying like that,
That's smart.
like imagine if Trump was kidnapped and like JD just like took over. He's like, yeah, they took him, and we're gonna do everything we can to get him back and make sure he's president again. He's just like sitting there like grinning ear to ear, being president. Loving
Reminds me
it.
of Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Oh my god.
Worst president ever.
I think I've told you this before. Every time we bring up LBJ, like I listened to like a part of a book. There's this guy that wrote like a 4-part. He literally wrote 4 different books. Just because we're talking about books.
Yeah.
He wrote 4 different books about Lyndon B. Johnson, like all through his life, and he's like the best kind of like modern politician to be like, wow, look at this guy. He like kind of like went through the entire federal system and became the master of it, essentially. Like by the time he was president, he was like the master. Like his whole shit was under control. Um, you like that? But part of it was like during like the 40s, like after World War II, he was like a congressman from like way down south in Texas. Um and like he was running against this guy who was like a country singer. Like a on the radio guy who would just be like strumming his guitar, and he won against LBJ. And he's like, how did this happen? This is like a whole Democrat district, and like he found out that that guy was just bussing in Mexican people like from across the border into Texas to vote for him. And then so the next 2 years, yeah, yeah, and then
Yeah.
2 years later,
Yeah.
and then 2 years later, he was just like, I'm just gonna bust in more, and then he won. Like just no zero democracy at all. Just like people, and that's what even they do here. They'll load up
like
they'll load up a bus full of like illegal immigrants and give them pizza and soda and be like, all right, go to the polls, guys. There. And they have like a pizza. And they're getting driven down the street to the ballot box.
Well, that's why I was saying on last pod why like, bro, I don't really care about the mail-in voting, bro. This shit doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't fucking matter. And another point with that I want to bring up is that if doing something involves another person, it's not a right. Your rights are individual. So, you were talking about, oh, well, like, what about these people who, like, they're in excruciating pain nonstop and they can't.
I don't exactly quite understand that though. Like what do you mean? Like
Like, a lot of people say healthcare is a right. And healthcare is great, and I think there should be laws around healthcare. But if it involves someone doing something for you, then it's not a right. Rights are individual. Like, I have the right to own property, right?
yeah.
Can I afford property?
No.
Is someone else involved in that?
I mean, I guess the previous property owner of the bank.
Exactly. So it's not like I have the right to own property, but can I?
Well, I mean,
No.
I would push back on that in one way where like and we do have a legal, a future lawyer in the chat that can maybe help us out. I don't know if Mike wants to chime in, but um
Yeah, I think you should.
um for instance, like the government's supposed to protect your rights, right? Like so like the First Amendment, for instance. That doesn't involve anybody, realistically. But if someone's like, if some say like someone in the government or someone's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna kill you for saying that. Say you're like,
Well, that goes against rights, killing.
I
Right to
know,
life.
but there's a government that's stepping in to protect you and prosecute the person that tries to kill you.
Okay.
So that right there is someone who's involved in your rights, protecting and championing your rights, for instance.
Oh, well, that's the government's purpose is to protect rights.
Right.
But protecting the right doesn't necessarily mean that they're getting involved with making it so that you can achieve the right. That's what I'm saying. Where it's like, again, with property, you have a right to own property or land. But if you can't afford it, that doesn't mean they step in and give you money so that you could, or step in and make it cheaper so that you can. But they make it so that if someone were to be like, if everyone was like, well, I don't sell to this kind of person, they're
Mm.
going to step in and say, well, that's not allowed. This man has a right to it. But if they don't have enough money, they're still going to tell you you have the right to own it. But if you can't do that, then there's nothing we could do. There's a difference between protecting the right and forcing someone to have the right.
I understand what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? Where it's
Like
like,
you're
like
basically
we
like
have a right to vote, but if you couldn't physically vote, we were talking about disabled people, but what if this person was so disabled they couldn't read or speak or do anything? If you can't vote because of your own personal issues, that should have nothing to do with the government. And it does, as of right now, have nothing to do with the government. Where it's like, if you could vote, then they protect the right that you have to vote. No one's going to stop you from voting. But they can't make you vote. You get what I'm saying?
kind of.
They
I
can't
mean,
make it so that, like, if someone can't speak or read and they're very disabled to the point where it's like, they like, I don't know, I guess play with blocks or whatever, which is kind of funny, but you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, they can't be like, well, this guy has a right to vote, so we're going to make him vote.
dude, Lego guys vote every single year. I bet, bro. They're just sitting there playing with their Legos,
Oh, I'm
block
sure. It was
block.
just, it was
I know.
just sort
I
of an
know.
example.
No, no, I understand what you're saying. I think what my thought at least is about it is like the government and like people trying to legislate. Every decade or every year, like these big landmark legislations, like we're talking about LBJ, like the civil rights movement, right?
Uh-huh.
There was people that were able-bodied in the South, like after the Civil War, that were trying to vote, but people were stopping them from voting,
Yeah,
like
no,
physically stopping them from voting.
that is where the government should step in.
Yeah,
Where it's like, well, this person has a right to vote. So you cannot stop them.
and that's the government's
But if
job is to step
someone
in.
if someone can't vote on their own accord because of any reason, it's not necessarily the government's job to help them do it. You get what I'm
Well,
saying?
that then that becomes like a debate about like who's right, how far can we extend the rights to? So like last week we were talking about a guy in an iron lung or someone like with excruciating pain. They're laying in bed. Like
Right.
they could still have an opinion about civil matters and whatnot, and want their voice to be heard and vote. But maybe it's about like them being having more choices in voting, where it's like I'm gonna mail it in,
No, but
or I'm gonna
that's what I'm saying where it's
save
the
my
government.
dignity.
No, I get what you're saying, but it's the government's job to basically make it so that no one's going to stop them if they are capable.
What if they're just not capable?
Well, if it involves someone else, it's not a right related thing. So it's like he or she still has the right to vote, but if they're not capable, then it's up to them to lean on community-based things to help them to get to that spot, essentially. So it's like if someone is in excruciating pain 24/7, right? And by the way, this example I feel like is a poor example because we are talking about such a little percentage. I'm not trying to dismiss the people in that position because there are, I'm sure. And again, I am not against mail-in voting or making voting simpler for people in positions like that. I'm for it.
Hmm.
But what I'm saying is it's not the government's duty to make it so that an individual who cannot vote through regular processes have an easier job of voting. It's their job to stop people from stopping other people from voting or themselves from
I mean,
stopping people
okay,
from
let me
voting.
ask you
That's
this
what
then.
a right genuinely is.
Okay, let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
Like,
Go ahead.
there was a law passed in the '90s about making sure that every federal building, I'm pretty sure this is every federal building, was handicapped accessible.
Yeah.
Basically, every federal building. So, like, if the government decided to never do that, right, and someone
Right.
in a wheelchair decided to go and vote, and there was a staircase there, or
Right.
something like that, they're physically there, but they just can't do this one part of it. Like, they need an elevator, they need an
Right.
escalator. Is that like realistically their fault, or should the government try to provide something like a ramp or an elevator for them to make it easier for them to get up there, or for them to make it physically possible
Yeah.
for them independently to go and vote, right?
Neither. It is not infringing on their right. But what I was saying is there's a difference between laws and rights. If they make it a law that benefits these people, that's a good thing. That doesn't mean that it's affecting their right.
But it is though.
I know a solution.
What's up?
Okay. What's your solution?
We can have filler like 20 feet first.
First guy?
For our state.
Yes. I like it. That's good stuff right there.
Tweet it out really quick.
Well, Vic said we need that live stream, that live fishing stream. That will happen.
Yeah, but that'll definitely happen for sure. That'll be no problem.
But
You know,
no, this is what I was saying where there's a law that's helping a certain group of people.
Mm.
That's a good thing. That's fine. But it is not their right for the government to do that.
I think the government's process since 1776 is trying to make sure that every, like, because we like me and people like from our friends at the liquor store have talked about this. We've talked about like is the Constitution living or not? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many. This is all highbrow legal stuff, and
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
a lawyer, but uh, like the goal since the conception of the country is to try to like extend the idea of rights to as many people as possible, basically.
No, but that's the thing is what I'm trying to explain to you is that if you're disabled and there's steps at the door, go vote.
Yeah.
That's not saying you don't have the right to vote. It's just somewhat in a sense of an obstacle in your way. And people need to stop acting like that's taking away your rights because it's not. Because if you had community around you, they would take you up those steps with you. See, people don't care about community.
filler.
What if you're the
Enough
what if you're the whale
the
and
pillar.
you can't get up and no one can lift
Dude,
you?
the whale
Is
is
this
not what we're going
You ever
to.
see the whale? You need to watch.
Whale
See,
is not what we're going.
if you watch the
Don't
whale,
care about the 1,000-pound people
no.
that have
no.
more things to worry about than voting.
First of all, you
Don't be 1,000 pounds.
first of all you just gotta watch the whale. They're not going up the pillar.
They're not going up the pillar. They're not. They.
We're gonna have
If you're a part of the whale, if you're a part of the whale,
The whales community.
you can't even wheel up the ramp that the federal government has made for you.
We need to watch. We need to have a movie night where we watch the whale live on stream. Because you need to see this movie. It's so good. It's so bad, but it's he's literally a college professor online. Like, hold on. What happened?
Guy on the left hates wheelchair ramps.
He really does. I've never seen someone be so
No,
like.
I'm
and-
for it. I'm for
But
it.
you're like the government shit. Like you're getting.
I'm
to-
explaining the logistics of rights. If there's no
okay,
ramp,
let me pause you. Let me just pause. You're being like an extreme like, and I understand like
I'm not being
libertarians.
extreme.
No, but you're being an extreme libertarian where like the government can't lift a finger ever to help anybody, and it's like
No,
they should
I
maybe.
don't-
They should,
That's not what I'm saying at all.
That's what you're saying.
twisting my words.
No, it's not.
I am saying that if the government makes the ramp, you said there was a law by the federal government
Yeah.
so that any federal building needs a ramp in a sense
Needs
or
access.
some access
Yeah.
for the disabled to enter. That is a law. laws are different from rights. If there was no ramp, then these disabled people still had the right to go in the building if they could figure out a way to get into the building, which would happen if they had a good community and good people around them, which is something that the people do not focus on enough anymore.
I know, but not everyone has a
It's not
community.
that hard. No, that's what I'm saying though, where it's like this is why community is way more important than law or anything like that, which so many people have forgotten. So many people don't realize that the greatest societies of all time throughout history, all the time, are based off of a strong community. We as a community need to come together to help each other separate from the government.
I agree, but when there's no community, then maybe the government should step in and do something. Just a little
I
bit of
disagree
something.
with that. I disagree with that
Okay.
entirely. I don't think the government is only there to solely protect our rights, and everything else that it does is essentially like I don't want to say useless, but it's just unnecessary.
Yeah, let me ask you
The
this then.
people need to take care of the people without the government. When has the government ever truly put the people first?
I mean, I don't.
Never.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's super.
Maybe has tried, but the issue is human nature takes into effect and greed takes over.
In recent memory, yeah.
That's not just in recent. That's historically true.
Well, I'm saying there has been stages like in times in history in America where there's like super cronyism where like big business is allowed to like run the show and write the laws and whatnot. And then there's periods of time where it kind of gets pulled back. And I think of like Teddy Roosevelt, who's like I think one of America's best presidents. Right? He was a guy who's like, hey, let's protect the parks. That's for everybody, right? All national parks out in the Midwest
That's
and,
great.
and out in the Western United States are protected, and around here as well. Same with like he was trying to break up the big businesses. There was one company in the entire country that controlled all the oil, Standard
Yeah.
Oil, and he broke it up. And that hasn't that a major monopoly case hasn't happened like that in a long time because we're right now I feel like in a point of kind of like mega cronyism where
No, the recent what's been going on with business and monopolies
Hmm.
and whatnot is an exact example of what I'm saying, where it's like, all right, Teddy Roosevelt, great president,
Hmm.
tried to destroy that. Human nature, rich people own businesses, try to take advantage of that to twist it in a way that still allows them to create a monopoly. Look at Amazon. Look at
Yeah.
Walmart.
Yeah, of course.
Work together to be the biggest companies ever. Every little dog is out because they follow the law that's based off of
They
it.
write the law.
They write
The
the law.
lobbyist. You understand? We live in a country where the lobbyist walks into Congress. The congressman is 90 years old. Yes, the time. There's look up how many senators are over the age of 75.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's like probably at least 30% of them, or at least
For
40% of them
for
are
sure.
over 75 years old. They walk in, the congressman's aide and them and the lobbyist, the person from Amazon, the person from Walmart, sit down and they write what the law is going to be, and then the congressman puts his name on the top.
Elvic said, by the way, Barstool hoodie fire.
Thank you. That's our new sponsor.
And then the comment after
Barstool.
that is come together to help everyone except the disabled. If you feel that way, that's you. That's not me though.
That is you.
That's not me.
The
though.
anti-disabled.
I literally said the community needs to come together to help them.
Your
They care.
girlfriend is Ice Spice, and you hate disabled people. That's your character on the podcast.
What?
Yeah. He knows.
He doesn't know. He doesn't.
You
know
just watched.
shit.
You just watched the clip that we.
Oh shit, bro.
You're
What
talking
are you
about.
talking
You're talking about. I'm not even gonna repeat what you said because I don't want to be clipped. But you were talking about.
No, you don't want to be clipped by
Yeah.
yourself.
Exactly.
So,
Anyway, our new sponsor, Barstool Sports.
Not sponsored. Stop
Uh,
giving them free money.
We're going to Israel pretty soon.
No, the laws can protect people, but rights don't involve other people. Rights are individual. If you
Okay, let me again. You keep repeating that over and over again, but let me just say this.
yes,
All right, I was talking about the First
Okay.
Amendment, right?
yeah,
The freedom of speech, the right to say whatever you want.
okay,
If it's only individualist, and I'm just sitting here talking to myself, right?
yeah.
Well, what is that? Freedom of speech is being able
It's
to
the
talk.
First Amendment.
Hold on. It's being able to talk out loud and say whatever you want against the government and try to change minds.
Okay.
That is inherently not individualistic. That is me and you having an open dialogue with many other individuals, which is a collective, which is basically the allowing of
No, the individualistic part of it is the government protecting that.
they're protecting it,
They're
but
protecting you. They're not protecting
speaking
everybody at
freely.
a single time.
Okay, but
They're protecting you.
speaking freely and gathering freely is not a individualistic act.
No,
Inherently.
speaking freely is gathering.
Who are you
is not.
speaking to if you're not if
The
you're who are you
government's
talking to if
job
you're alone?
isn't to bring everyone together so that that can happen. It's just that if people were to come together, they protect the fact that you could say that. If you can't do that, it's not the government's job. It's not the right that you have to make it so, oh, well, I'm going to have a group of people listen to me. That is an individual thing that you must complete either by yourself or with help. If you can't do that by
See,
yourself,
I'm
with the
confused. I'm
community.
confused by what you're saying because you're saying individuals and then group of people. This is not.
If
This is an
you as an
oxymoron.
individual cannot do something without the help of other people, it is not the government's job to help you, it is the community's. How is that confusing?
I'm making the point you're like talking about rights in the First Amendment
No,
and the
answer
Bill of
my
Rights.
question. How is that confusing? How is it confusing that if someone by themselves
Hold
can't bring a
on.
group,
Zach, what were you saying real quick?
Just say, you just between community and see what you're saying, you want the community to be responsible for these things. For some way, community naturally sort of creates which ends up becoming government.
Very true.
if
There's
it
local
ends up
government.
becoming government, then that's just the laws that are created. The laws and rights are separated.
Yeah, but I mean, again,
Well, have the law.
they do.
Rights and laws are completely separate things.
But they have an effect.
Laws are what's enforced entirely, something that you have to follow. Rights you are born with, you are given. Not you are given, like you are literally born with. No one can change that, and if someone were to affect your right, the government steps in to stop whatever's happening. Laws make you do something. Rights are stopped by the government. Not rights are stopped. Rights are protected by stopping from the government. Laws are forcing you to do something.
And well, obviously, there's Korea don't really have any where good majority of them are in place.
Not necessarily to, well, like, rights are protected no matter what. Like, laws are there to not necessarily influence, but to make people do certain things. See, this is what I'm saying. A right doesn't involve making someone else do something. It's allowing an individual to do something. If that individual can't do something by themselves,
Well, some rights,
the law doesn't say that other people have to intervene.
What is an example of right?
Right to property, right? This is what I was saying before.
But I don't know if there's anything in the Constitution that says you have a right to property.
Yes, I'm sure there is. All right, right to life. How about that?
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's
life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? The government will protect that. So if someone is trying to stop you from having the right to life, if someone is trying to kill you, the government steps in and says, you can't kill this person. But but you could still own a gun. You could have a gun, knowing that that's a lethal weapon.
Can I?
But you are not given the right to kill somebody with it unless they are affecting your right to life. You can't kill somebody unless they're threatening your life or someone around your life.
Can I ask one thing real quick, because we're talking about rights and we keep bringing up like the First, Second Amendment. Like you're saying, oh, a right isn't like something you break; it's something you're born with. But again, like in the Third Amendment of the Bill of Rights, that's the government cannot keep soldiers in your house, right? That's something that the government can't do, and you have a right to refuse, or they're basically not allowing soldiers to be quartered in your home.
Okay.
That's not exactly a right. That's just like, you
I
cannot.
didn't say all the amendments were rights.
Those aren't amendments. That's the Bill of Rights. The first 10 are
Okay,
the
so
Bill of
the
Rights.
government can't. So exactly what I'm saying, the government can't involve other people into your life by force. That's You get what I'm saying? That is a right. You
So,
have a right to not be involved when it comes to other people. If it's soldiers, like the third.
Mhm. But that's not inherently like an individual right. You know what I mean? Like ordering soldiers in your house, like that's just disallowing the government to never do that, basically.
You what? You're telling me you can't do that if you want to do it?
No, if you want to hold soldiers in your house, yeah, sure, you probably could,
That's what I'm saying.
but like the government can't force you.
Yes,
I guess
that's
I'm
the
a little
whole difference
confused.
between rights and laws. Rights is the government can't force you. Law and they protect you from being forced, and laws force.
So what is the point you're trying to make, Jason?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What is the point I'm trying to make? The whole point, the original conversation was about voting. And the whole point is the government doesn't have to force other people to help other people to vote, but it does protect the individual. Even if they struggle to vote, it gives them the right to vote. So it's like if you're in excruciating pain, you can barely move, you still have the right to vote, but a law would force other people to help you vote.
Mm.
There's a big difference between the two. And people confuse that, where it's like a good example is people are like, oh, well, people have a right to health coverage. And it's like, you don't have a right to health coverage, but there could be laws that force you, in a sense, and other people to give you health coverage, but that's not a right. You have the right to, do your own research and help your own health because it's
Well,
individual.
well, that's sometimes not true as well because like there's like the FDA and whatnot, and like there's Food and Drug Administration that'll like stop you from getting drugs that you want, essentially. Like if
Yeah,
you
but that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying if you
Are
want
you
to help
saying
yourself, just because you believe something that goes against the FDA, doesn't mean that the government is stopping you from necessarily helping yourself. It's not FDA approved.
well, you can't get in your own country,
Yeah, if you can't get it in your own country, again,
and
these
it'd be
are
illegal, and it's illegal to transport it into your country.
again, so with what I was just saying, is that a right or a law? If the government is forcing you not to do something or to do something, is that a law or a right based off of what I've said right now?
I mean, I don't know.
You don't know. You don't understand that what I'm saying is so
Jason?
there is laws against certain drugs and certain methods to heal yourself.
But you're just talking about the individual. You're like, oh, I'm an individual and I'm sick and I don't want
I
to.
think I see what he's saying. I think I see what he's saying.
Right.
Honestly,
Yeah, of course.
you actually see what he's saying. It seemed like
Yeah.
all yeah,
He's Vito.
I'm
or
Vito. My name's Vito, but yeah.
Vito. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I wanted to clarify that. I just kind of,
Yeah, no, it's fine, it's fine. Continue.
Vito, making a distinction between rights and laws are because obviously a right doesn't enforce needs to be enforced, which really laws would be enforced in order to so, I agree with
Kinda.
that.
A right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, again, what I'm trying to say is rights are protected, laws are enforced.
No,
Yeah,
I would
yeah, yeah.
absolutely agree with um would you confine like when you say all right, is that just entailing from a US like constitutional perspective what we consider a right in the United States, or do you have your own view on what a right actually is?
Um, I would say my personal view, if you're asking me directly, is like, and you don't need to be religious for this, is God-given rights. You don't need to be religious to understand God-given rights, which is again like right to property, right to life, so on and so forth. It's basic things, right to voting, that's not a God-given right. That does make sense to me.
Mm.
You know, it's based off of, and again, you know, like our
I
government
do want to.
is strong, and I do believe in essentially God-given rights. So it's like, you know, the personal aspect of it, like the question you're asking, like what are rights, is definitely up for debate. But what's not up for debate when it comes to rights, not laws, just rights, is whether or not it involves forcing someone else to do something. So basically, as long as you're able to live and have a place to call your own and be somewhat content with the life that you're living, anything related to that is what I would consider a right.
Right.
Would you consider putting handcuffs on somebody, forcing them to do something?
Yeah.
So if we put handcuffs on a murderer who's infringing on people's rights to live, is that breaking that rule? Because they're
Yeah,
forcing
because
him to do something?
if you're breaking someone else's rights, then your rights are stripped. That's like the whole purpose. That's the whole
Okay,
purpose
so
of government, is to protect other people's rights.
I see. So when it comes to, obviously if someone breaks,
No, no, yeah, yeah. I get what you're doing.
I mean, like, obviously breaking somebody's infringing
Right.
now lost their privileges to their own right.
Yeah, see, that's where, like, me personally, it gets a little weird because I know a lot of people don't agree with, like, religion and everything, but in the Bible, it says that if you were to take someone else's life, then your life should be taken. If you were to rape, then your life should be taken and whatnot. And it's like, in my head, non-religiously, if you're taking someone else's rights away, then your rights should be taken. I'm not trying to sit here and say everyone has the exact same rights, and if you affect someone else's rights, well, you have rights that shouldn't be messed with. If you're The whole thing is everyone should be respecting each other's rights. And if your rights um are being affected by someone else and being taken away by someone else, then that someone else should be and is going to have their rights taken away to
Well,
keep a moral compass going.
I think in how the law basically is treated is that you're basically forfeit your rights once you break the law.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like, if so like you can look at it with laws and rights, because that is very similar, where it's like if you break the law, now the law enforces you. And if you take someone's rights, then the government, as its job to protect the rights, is going to take your rights as an individual who took someone else's, because that's how it protects everyone else's. Because if you took someone's rights away, let's say right to life, you murdered someone, your rights no longer uh, are legitimate because you're taking other people's rights. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Much, man. Uh,
More or less, yeah.
so, like, under pretenses of, I guess, a founding fathers like flying, right? Assuming that it operates the way it's supposed to, sure that we could all agree that it doesn't always operate correctly all the time. It's not.
Yeah.
100%.
Well,
I definitely see what you're saying.
I think just to reiterate, like because you're just it was good that you brought up the founding fathers, because that's exactly what I was trying to get to once, like Jay, or once Vito was finished. My bad. But I don't know if the founding fathers, like, that's the kind of the big debate, is like, well, how many, where does the Constitution go? Where does this document go? Like, where does our government go? Where the founding fathers are kind of so far removed from the creation of the country up until now, up until 2026, right? Where could they ever envision, right? Like you talked about property, right?
Okay.
And we briefly talked about how, in some ways, the founders, and I think you have the right idea. The founders had the idea that people, you know, and this is just like, of the time. They had the idea that men owning property were going to run this country, right? And most of the men were going to own property. I don't think they had any. They had banks back then, but I don't think they had any idea that there would one day be a bank so large that would be worth over $1 trillion and own multiple uh thousands and thousands of acres of land
Yeah.
that would basically kneecap an entire generation of people from buying property and taking place and being a part of the democracy essentially. Because when you have land, right, that's when you really give a shit. When you're paying property taxes, that's when you really care about your community. And you're talking about community all the time. Like that's basically where this debate uh really sprouted up.
Centralizes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where handicapped people should have a community to help them vote, right? If you can't buy a property, you're just bouncing around from apartment to job, right, to city, you are never going to really feel like a citizen and an owner in the country.
Right.
So I don't think the founders could ever possibly envision that, right? Because that's just so far removed from their idea. I mean, they were in a time where like the Dutch bank is financing wars, and that's it. And like maybe the bank would let you borrow money for a farm. There was no like major international commerce and instant transactions
Mm-hmm.
and mass speculation of the of real estate that could have ever entered their mind when they were writing the Constitution and writing the Bill of Rights and all this other stuff. So, I mean that's right.
I get what you're saying, but the way that it ends up working out is, are there people, if you had enough money right now, stopping you from buying land? If you had $1 million right now,
No,
you don't need a million.
no.
If you had $1 million right now,
Mhm.
and there was a lot for 500K, you have $1 million, and you're like, oh well, I could afford this.
Yeah.
And then the person
You don't
says, oh well, you have $1 million, so you could afford this. I'll sell you this land. Is someone
uh-huh.
stopping you from owning the
No,
land?
but there's not a lot of people with $1 million
No, I
that
know.
can
I'm
buy
just saying you
land.
don't need $1 million to own land. Don't worry about the numbers. I'm just saying you can afford a piece of land. Who is stopping you from buying the land? Now, there could be the argument, oh, well, the billionaires and the corporations stop me from owning a home because they've made it so much more expensive
Mhm.
to own the home.
Yeah.
But there's a million different reasons as to why land and property is so expensive right now. Picking a specific group of people
Well,
is
I would
not
disagree with you.
necessarily.
I would disagree with you.
You don't think there's a bunch of reasons as to
No, I think
why?
there's like basically two.
What are they?
There is I just mentioned that there's major banks using real estate as a speculative asset.
Okay.
Real estate is like the best asset, and now it's an asset. It used to not be. But real estate is the greatest asset now because you can literally do so much with it. It's the one of the best financial tools you can use. You can borrow against it. You can buy it and and sell it for literally no tax.
Okay, but
Uh,
then what's the second reason?
the second reason is the boomer generation, right? They saw what was going on. This is the truth, though.
No, that's
It's the
true.
truth.
It's true, but I will say it's vague.
It's vague, but it's like they have these like pie in the sky ideas about how much their house is worth, and they're what they're hoping for is they're trading with other boomers for this like $1 million lottery ticket that they think they're entitled to. And
Okay.
it's just like selfishness and it's a fantasy in my opinion. I mean, like, do you think anybody in your neighborhood or my neighborhood is buying like a $600,000 house under the age of like 40 or 50?
No.
Probably not.
No.
And what they're doing is that they're cashing out their house that they bought, their lottery ticket, and they're going to a bigger house, right? And it's like this greed mindset. And it was I was gonna mention this earlier. It's also the real estate agents as well. These real estate agents, they don't give I mean, they shouldn't because it's not like a really hard barrier of entry to get into that business. But they don't care. They're not like they're marketing the house because they just want a commission check. And the higher the ticket price, the more money they
So
make.
what you're telling me is pretty much we need a community change.
No, I mean, like, I think the best thing to possibly do is that we need to make it so that major corporations and major hedge funds cannot own private homes. All right.
Well,
If you
saying they
want,
cannot is affecting their right, whoever owns them, to
see,
land.
that's a new concept right there. Is
That's
that
not a new
a
concept.
corporation has rights now? I thought
No, no,
individuals have
the
rights.
people who own it own this corporation. If you want to affect the corporation through laws, as long as it's not affecting the individuals who own the corporations, then yeah, I agree with you. If you want to say, well, blank, let's say CO, if you want to say certain COs as a company can't own this much land because a lot we know CEOs do this and CEOs and everything do this so that the taxes and everything are put on the company and not them as an individual.
Of course.
Sure. But if you just make the law that, oh, well, the company can't own this many homing, which I'm fine with, sure, then if you're telling me that the rich owner and the rich CEOs and the rich CEOs and everything aren't just going to do it under their name, because realistically, there's probably not that much risk
I mean,
involved anyway.
why would they do that? There's a huge amount of risk
Yeah, but
involved.
there's so much money to make. They're going to do it. They're going to do it.
There's
100%.
no like person that's going to be able to.
100% they're going
I
to
don't
do it.
think that's really feasible.
I think that's fully feasible. All right,
Like
so
what
you're a
an individual
CEO.
an individual
You're the
CEO.
CEO of McDonald's, right?
First of all, that would be a total, and I just know this, and I'm not trying to out myself, but like as an accountant, you cannot do that. It'd be totally against the law for a CEO to buy assets in their name for like the company. It'd be
No,
totally
that's
against the
not what
law.
I'm saying at all.
Well, then what are you saying? How
I'm
could the
saying they do
CEO?
it
The
as an
CEO is just a guy that works for the company,
yeah, the CEO of McDonald's, let's say this
right?
guy, separate from McDonald's, is like, well, I'm a billionaire. I'm gonna buy a bunch of property
Okay,
as an
then that
individual.
is individual investing. Then that's fine. That's always
That's
going
what
to be
I'm
a
saying.
complete.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
And
saying.
I'm saying he does not have billions of dollars and like billions of dollars worth of like borrowing power to go out and buy homes. Right. He is like maybe a single billionaire.
I disagree with that entirely. I think any billionaire has the borrowing power. They're not doing it through their company, so they have
They can. It's
less.
against the law.
So
You
they
cannot.
have less buying
No.
power.
It's against the law.
You're saying no, but I'm not saying that's what they're doing.
But you're saying through the company, like the CEO is like somehow like
I'm saying they're not gonna do it through the company. I'm saying they're gonna do it because it's the CEO of fucking McDonald's. This dude has billions of dollars.
I don't think the CEO of McDonald's has billions and billions of dollars. I don't know where you're
Bro,
getting that from.
you
He's
think
probably a millionaire, multimillionaire.
there's actually no way. Let me
Go ahead,
look
look
that
it
up.
up.
Let me
Go
look it
ahead,
up.
look it up. This is just a guy that works for a company. He gets hired and fired by a board of directors.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Appreciate it. We're just be around for too much longer.
Oh yeah.
Really educational hearing.
Thank you.
Reading next time, maybe hit me up later. Suggestions. Pretty easy. Every grade would make things a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
Chat, call in, on.
We're all.
Audio stuff just to make sure that anyone who's calling in is actually here.
Do you know? Is your calls picking up or no? Or am I?
I only listened to it a little bit earlier on my computer. I don't want to.
Okay.
It's
Because like at least from my looking on the computer here, it looks like it's like kind of picking you up, like half maybe halfway. Maybe it's a little bit quiet. But yeah, I mean, we're all ears, man. I mean, you're the pro.
Yeah.
Scrubby is the pro streamer here. I mean, he's worked with Ninja. He's worked with iShowSpeed.
yeah. That was a deep one. We did, three.
He actually beat iShowSpeed in a race, in a foot race. Yeah.
He's a method. Yeah.
Watching, like, honestly, dude, before it's on screen elements, maybe your name, technologically now.
I was talking to him about that. We have to figure out the because we were talking about like we wanted to like try to watch stuff and be able to put it on the
Oh
screen.
yeah, that would be good.
Like so, yeah, all of that stuff, like names and everything like that. Like
We could watch Family Guy.
we do want to figure that out. So if you want to, send us some stuff.
Yeah,
It's
there's
greatly
there's
appreciated.
definitely ways we can do it. We've just been doing it. We've been doing it in like a not like I don't want to say a lazy way, but definitely a definitely a way where it's like low effort. We're just kind of getting it started.
One of the things, like learn how to do it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I've got no problem like learning more about like streaming and stuff and just making it a more pleasant experience because I think it would absolutely just help the mod and whatnot and you know
and dude, honestly, like, chilling here watching this, it's been really entertaining, honestly.
yeah, thank you.
Being able to sometimes, like, some of these surgery a little late.
Yeah, that would
Guys, please to know is like 95 points.
Alex Dunn. Alex Dunn's in the chat. Why? What did he say? I'm not looking at it.
He's gonna say you all need to pay attention to chat because Alex Dunn was low-key just mad. Not read his messages.
Oh shit. I'm sorry, Dunn. I don't know if you're still there, but I do apologize because I just had the phone down here and then Jay had his phone. He was looking at the chat, but he didn't. I guess he didn't care to uh you know comment on what he was saying. So that's our bad. But yeah, I mean we have to implement some of this stuff. But again, we're doing it one day. We're doing it 1 week at a time. You know.
Was thinking like, oh, it'd be cool if you guys had like a little link you could drop and people could join like a Discord call, and then just like you drag them in if you want to talk to them, and if they're freaking being annoying, you can just pick them. You can just pick those people who want to argue with you.
That would be really fun actually because like I wonder because I have the TV in front of me here and I've got the computer and we could just literally have like someone on the computer here like chatting with them for like 5 minutes at a clip
Exactly.
and just be like and just be talking to them and just be like hey they could debate Jay or they debate Vito about why why they're disabled what happened to them and they want to go roll in there and vote for Trump so it's like they should have the right to.
Vito's gonna have people in the chat being like,
Yeah, these guys read chat. Apparently not.
I
It'd
don't
be too
want
long
to
thing.
society.
Let's get the viewers. Holy shit, this is live. Fuck you, Alex.
He was just saying that he was like he was saying that whatchamacallit, like Alex was chirping I guess and I was trusting you to read the chat but
Well, we were talking. Let me say the important things that Alex said. First, AR-15 cheaper than RAM right now.
yeah
That's AI. Fuck AI. No one likes AI except billionaires. Fuck AI.
well we were
RAM
making
should not be cheaper
hold on
or should not be more expensive than an AR-15.
well we were making those funny pictures with that dog earlier before we got on
We were using AI
and we do use
send each other back and forth
and we do use AI to make the comments
funny photos and whatnot. But that should not make it just because some program puts together a funny photo or makes a little clip here and there. Not here and there, a lot of people use it. Does not mean that the RAM should be that much fucking money. It's ridiculous. The fact that they use fresh water and they need so much is obviously an irresponsible way to use AI. That these companies, if you want to make it by law, should be responsible to figure out how they could do this without using up so many resources, which makes things so expensive.
mm.
That's where rights and laws are different, where it's like we can make laws restricting them. This has nothing to AI has nothing to do with rights when it comes to how the AI is produced. If we're affecting how AI is produced, it's not affecting, your right to life, your right to liberty, your pursuit to happiness, or anything like that.
Well,
There's no argument against that. So we need to create laws that make it so that if AI is going to be a thing and it's going to be so used so often, these AI companies need to figure their shit out.
listen, like it's not going to happen anytime soon. Trump is in bed with the AI companies. The first thing he did, I mean, was give them $500 billion.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's not going to happen anytime soon. But I mean, hey, just to go back on argument's sake for what you're saying, I mean, I don't like a. I'm not like I could live without AI probably. You know,
We all could.
it's very convenient. But you can make the argument that like that's their right at the moment for them to build a data center and use utility water, everyone's water basically to cool the computer.
Yeah, it's what they do.
Well, what they also do is they also go to someone because it's like always a municipality person, right? And they uh they cut a deal with them. They get a great rate on utilities, on electric and on water. They get like a monthly stipend. Have you seen the movie? You probably haven't, but you haven't seen the movie Eddington, have you?
No.
I'm gonna spoil the ending of the movie for you guys real quick, and then we're probably gonna have to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But at the end of Eddington, right? It's this movie where it's Joaquin Phoenix and uh Pedro Pascal, right? And Joaquin Phoenix hates Pedro Pascal because he's the sheriff of a small town, and Pedro Pascal is the mayor of a small town, and they're both running for mayor. He's running for re-election, and Joaquin Phoenix is kind of like this like nerdy sheriff. He's a nerd cop, basically, nerdy cop. And they're running for mayor, right? And at the end of the movie, he gets and just watch the movie. I'm not going to explain the whole thing. At the end of the movie, he becomes a paraplegic, right? Right at the end of this movie, but he wins the mayor's job, right? And at the end of the whole movie, this actually takes place during COVID, the movie. So it's like 5 years later. At the end of the movie, he's the mayor. He's literally like Stephen Hawking in a chair, right? So this actually wraps up perfectly with all our disabled stuff. But he's in a chair like Stephen Hawking, and he's cutting a ribbon for an AI facility, and they're just kind of like they're just like auto penning his like signature for this like fucking data center, right? And this is just like exactly what our government's doing. They're just letting because they're just stuffing all of these politicians with so much money for their reelection campaign. They're just literally going, "All right, do whatever you want."
Yeah.
I want to keep being commissioner of the. I want to keep being the water commissioner in New Mexico or something like that. I want to keep being the mayor of Boulder, Colorado, or something like that. And that's where the data centers are going. Where these giant Midwest places where there's so much land, right? And they can just kind of go out there and do new construction like no problem and put up a data center and hook up the water lines and hook up the electric and then go to the commissioner or go to the county, freeholder or commissioners or whoever and say, hey, give me a great rate. Give me a great rate on water and electricity and everything like that, and I'll give the town a bunch of jobs. And then they can go to the constituent and go, look how many jobs it's going to create. The unions, the cement people, the electricians. That's only a job for a little bit, realistically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The data center is like you need like
Well,
five.
you could actually compare this to like real life stuff. Like Mondami, mayor of New York City, recently. Who was the billionaire that owned the penthouse in New York City that he called out? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
Uh, there's back and forth on that because some people are saying on Mondami's side, yeah, this person who doesn't live in New York, who only has this property in New York and owns it, should be taxed more because they're not a New Yorker.
right.
There's that side, and there's the other side where the billionaire himself was talking about how, oh, well, if that's going to happen, I don't want to do my business here. And because I'm not going to do my business here, you just ruined 40,000 jobs, is what it was estimated to be. And it's not just him saying it. It's like the actual planning that was going into it,
Yeah,
which is now being retracted, where it was like there was like electrician jobs, there was service jobs, like desk jobs, and so on and so forth. So it's like, there's good debate between the two, but realistically, what people need to open their eyes to is what's going to affect the quality of life. If we're going to make laws based around stuff like this and either restrict or allow these kind of things to happen, we need to look at the bigger picture. So many people do not do this in politics. You know this, I know this. It's super true. We need to not look at the right now. We need to look at the future and the generalization of how it's going to affect the majority of people involved and whether it's going to be pros mainly or cons mainly. So it's
Right.
like if a place is going to run and it's going to give, let's say, 40,000 jobs, and it's going to help these people, and it's not going to affect the quality of life of the average citizen in that area, then that is more pros than cons. So we should allow it. The laws should allow it. But if it's the opposite of that, where it's going to give 40,000 jobs, but the other hundreds of thousands of people are going to be negatively impacted,
Mm.
then we need to make laws that, restrict something like that because that again has nothing to do with rights. This is more just like general things and like business related things that um are affecting people without affecting the rights. And people are so propagated by their side or whatever it is that whether it affects more people negatively than not or vice versa isn't really an issue to the mainstream public, which is a communal change that the people need, where it's like we need to stop separating ourselves so much and start actually looking at the big picture when it comes to these sort of policies and whatnot, and actually try to help the most people that we can. We need to come together and help each other
I mean,
to an extent that is greater than just like some sort of quick cash or whatever it is that it comes to. And
right.
it's hard, I get that. It's hard to know,
Mm.
but people who do their research and understand economics and you know, society in general, studying social behavior and social benefits versus social discrepancies,
I mean,
you know.
there's so many ways you can kind of like ham and haw that to make it so that whatever you're trying to make a point about is actually like what people think is the right thing to do. Like you were talking about, like, oh, this billionaire is going to leave, and now these 40,000 jobs and blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, I guess it's like theoretical. Like these jobs are going to be gone, but at the
No,
same time,
exactly. It's theoretical. Yeah.
that's theoretical. So it's like the billionaire is pointing at himself, like, oh, you're going to tax me? All right, I'm going to take my business somewhere else, like New York. Well, there's nowhere else really like New York.
Well, this guy specifically is saying he's going to go to Florida, which he's in
Okay,
Florida already. He's going to go to Florida, and he
okay.
he said how like, oh, well, like the best advertisement for Florida is Mondami.
I mean that could very well be true, but I mean honestly, like you know, podcast till we die. Someone said, which I love. But facts. I'm getting that on a t-shirt. But yeah, I mean, like that could be true, but I mean, again, it's all like theoretical. Like some guy could be like, "Well, I'm taking my business elsewhere. This is your guy's fault. Who voted for him?" It's like, okay, well, the people that voted for him are not like billionaires, and they're just like working in an office or they work for like a union, like something like that. And that's all the people that are going to be the construction workers. And those construction guys, they're in a union and they get paid no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, all those jobs, like that. Maybe that job is gone.
I get what you're saying, but there's the counter argument of, well, the billionaires pay like this guy.
Who, the
So
construction workers?
no, the guy that owns this penthouse that I was
Oh,
telling you
okay,
about.
okay.
So he donated like $650 million to the state of New York, to the city of New York City, and he also paid like $2 billion in taxes. And now he's leaving, so that will never happen again. So
Okay.
essentially, the counter argument. I'm not saying I disagree or agree
Mm.
with what you're saying at all. I'm just saying the counter argument to what you're saying is, well, you're saying we're supposed to help, like the construction workers and everything like that, which I agree. But the counter argument is, well, now doing this, which is supposed to help them, is now removing from the city almost $3 billion a year of revenue from one single guy. And this could be multiple people. And then what's the end result of that? These people who give the city $3 billion every year are leaving and they're not going to stay and they're going to take their money elsewhere to other states. What's that going to do for the city? Is there enough people moving there who have that kind of income to cover it?
I mean,
Or is it going to hurt the working class because now taxes are going to rise to a significant amount, which we've seen happen in other places, but not everywhere?
mm,
Like, what's going to happen? You know, it's a lot of
I mean, it's
speculation.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
I mean, I think you have a good point there. I
so
think that
that's the counter argument. I'm not trying to make that my point. I'm just saying that's the counter argument.
yeah, I mean, I agree with what you're saying because like the Mandami point or like the billionaire point is like, hey, like all these industry leaders, if they leave, like there's going to be a huge amount of like revenue that's going to be gone from the budget, right? Like, so how will Mandami get his stuff done? Essentially, he wants to probably raise the budget. He has like big ideas about free grocery stores and free buses and all that jazz. But how's he going to do it if all these people leave? I really don't know. I don't know. Like, I think we're just it. I think we're at a point where it's like a wait and see. Honestly, if all these people leave and the city is like so fucked up and Mondami can't get shit done, and what's in my head, this is probably what's going to happen. It's probably going to be like a lackluster. It's going to be like an okay job Mondami does. Like there'll be like three things that the people that are going to want to vote from again can point to and go, see, he did that. He got, because he remember we talked about the Polymart free, like so he was able to go out and get private capital and private equity like Polymart, the gambling, whole country's gambling, the whole thing. He's going to go out and get them, put up a free grocery store, and they're going to go point and go see he did that, and then he'll fail on like 25 other things, and it won't really matter, and then he'll win re-election, and if it's like still the same crap, then there's going to be someone else that shows up. There's going to be a new guy that shows up that is going to go.
Well, that's my issue with him personally, where it's like
He's not perfect.
I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying he has to be perfect, but the issue is it's a continuation of the issues that we face every single day with all these people and everything. Where it's
Mm.
like it's not genuinely getting better.
No,
It's not.
no, but I mean,
This is why
he's not a real communist by any means. Like they throw that word
oh, yeah,
around.
no,
He's
I don't
just
know why that word's
he's
thrown
just
around.
a
But
he's just a like Obama like figure. He's just a great speaker, and he just knows how to throw his weight around,
I
and he's
just
got big
want
money
the
behind him.
government to stop, dude. That's it. I want them to stop. Let's not change anything. Every time we change, it gets worse. Let's take
But
a
how do
chill
you?
pill. Let's
But
back
who's
up.
but who's gonna run on? There's no one that's gonna run on.
I'm not
Let's do
saying
nothing.
I'm not saying that they necessarily have to run on that, but I'm saying this is like we need to stop. No one needs to run on that, but we need to elect someone that's not going to say, "Well, I'm going to do all these things and it's going to make things better," and then it makes things worse. We as a community need to come together to stop doing that because that's all we've done for the past 70 years, and things continuously get more expensive, harder to reach,
Mm, I
worse.
agree with you. I
So
agree
it's
with you.
like, what is the next step?
I don't know. I think we're heading in the complete wrong direction, to be honest with you. And
Yeah,
I
no, I
mean,
agree.
we talked about I just mentioned gambling and stuff like that. I mean, I think that every single transaction almost that I make on my phone, there's a pop up for gambling.
Yeah.
I buy a ticket to the movies. I went and saw a movie last weekend, and on Fandango, it's like claim your Powerball discount
Yeah,
here.
yeah, no, it's
I sent
ridiculous.
you $20 on Venmo, and it was like, do you want your free FanDuel credit
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
No, I no like. And honestly, to some degree, I completely understand the epic gambling epidemic because, like you said, stuff is getting so out of reach that people are like, "Fuck it, let's just gamble and see if I can get out of this."
Now let me just continue on with the comments so we can wrap this up.
Yeah,
Next comment. Not making voting as accessible as possible hurts democracy. Well, I hate to break it to you, but not everyone agrees with democracy. That's why socialism, that's why communism, capitalism, all these different ideas and ideologies and systems are in place because not everyone thinks democracy is the greatest system. So it's like if you think that, then you're
And we don't even
obviously
have
gonna
we don't
vote.
even have a full like flavor of anything.
Well,
Like,
you know,
we've talked
America.
about,
That's a mistake too. That like it's a great point. Mistake so many people make is like, well, we're a democracy. We are a first of all, we are a republic. A democracy is the people vote on the laws. If you look at basic definitions, a democracy is the people come together and vote on specific laws. And
well,
if the people
you
vote in
send
favor,
yeah.
it gets passed, and if they vote not in favor, it doesn't get passed.
Well, you send representatives. A democracy would be like a bunch of like citizens. get
A
together.
republic,
In Greece, for instance, the citizens, the men, the landowning men,
yeah.
were the government. That was a true democracy in a sense.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
The people are the government.
Right.
We don't live in that. We live in more of a republic with bits of democracy. A republic is when the citizens vote for people
But we have a flavor of everything. We have a
to
flavor.
make the
We have a
decisions, which
flavor.
is kind of
We have
what
a
we
flavor
no,
of
exactly. We
capitalism.
have a bit of it all.
We talked about this once before, but we're us in China. Like people are like, oh well, they're communists and we're capitalists. It's like no, we're like the same because they have their state companies and we kind of have ours. They're just more explicit about it. China will be like, you know, BYD, like their car company. That's a Chinese government-owned company, right?
Yeah.
But the U.S. government will go, well, Microsoft is a great independent company, but we're giving them millions of dollars in subsidies to keep the stock price up.
Yeah.
Right? Millions of dollars of government federal money goes to Microsoft and Amazon and Walmart to keep the stock prices up, keep bankers happy, basically. So like if they have a bad quarter, it doesn't go like this and crashes everyone's 401k. And again, that's what is that? That's not pure capitalism. That's a form of like socialism where
Yeah. No,
giving
exactly.
the government's giving a corporation money. The public is invested in the corporation through their job. That could be with the government,
Yeah.
pensions and
Yeah. Yeah.
401ks and stuff like that. That they can make sure that they retire on. Plus, their social security.
Yeah. No, it's a mess.
So
It's a
it's like
disgusting
it's
mess.
like I hate to break it to everybody, but it's like I like capitalism too. I think it's good, but
Well, if we had pure capitalism, things would be great, but we don't. We
I
have a
mean I don't know if you know
we
about
have a
that either.
conglomerate conglomeration of a bunch of bullshit. Pretty
Too much
much.
of anything is probably bad. I would say like
Yeah, I'm sure.
full
Yeah.
communism is not good, and I don't think full capitalism is really that was such a good idea either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah, of course.
I don't think there's like, I mean, ultimately, I think it's maybe presupposed in the discussion, but like discussion of like governing system really looks out, and one of the pretenses that integration is like in parts of like game design, like I like for like sometimes it will be made in a way on the frequencies that they're gonna play differently.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's why I personally believe capitalism is kind of the greatest system to run under because capitalism is free. It's free market, fully and entirely, where it's like anyone can play any way that they want. And that's the only way that I think allows
I would
for
disagree
to
because
I think that's the best way to sort of control corruption where it's like not control corruption, but it's like you have the best chance of getting out of corruption. When in socialism or communism you don't.
I mean, I disagree with that as well. Like we
Yeah.
briefly talked about like Standard Oil, right? A common Standard Oil practice, right, was this. So Standard Oil was the biggest oil company in America in like 1900, right?
Okay.
So, um, say like all my everything I know about life is from movies. So say you're like the guy from There Will Be Blood, and you found your own well, right? You dug it, you built it, you built the wood, you dug the thing, you and your boys are extracting the oil, right? You have your whole
Yeah.
operation, right? And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is great. I'm making $100 a day
Yeah.
in 1900. This is amazing. This is amazing. I'm gonna be a fucking millionaire. Standard Oil will come in and what they would do is that they would take their own barrels of oil that they got from wherever. Say you're in Texas, they got it from Oklahoma, wherever, and they would just flood the market with their oil and cut it down to a price where they're losing money every single time they sell a
Yeah.
barrel. And it's like,
Yeah, there's
holy shit, I cannot even make a profit because Standard Oil has so much oil I have no choice but to sell to them, and then they grab you, and then they buy their
Yeah.
well, and then they jack up the price again.
All right, well, if it's communist or socialist, the government just takes it from you.
I know, but
Well-
there's the point of that example is that government regulators can come in and literally help the little guy become a standard business in their own right, right? So that someone who can literally sway the market one way to the other. But this is the same reason why we're having this problem with Iran, right? Some person or country has so much of one resource and controls it in such a certain way that it's literally making this like the price of things go up and down like crazy, right? Like that's not. I don't think that's a stable system at all.
I'm not necessarily saying it's stable, but I think it's like if it were communist and you found the oil and you made everything but the well and everything, the government's just going to take it. And then if it's socialist, it's the same. But if it's capitalist, the big guys are going to try to destroy you. But if you have this is where I always say
The big guys are
community-
just going to take it regardless.
Community is the most important. If you have a strong community, the community would not allow that.
That's not the point. You're missing the complete point. The
No,
idea.
I get the point. I get the point. And I'm not trying to say capitalism is perfect. Capitalism
No.
is flawed with that.
No, but I'm saying
It is flawed.
You're saying,
because
but
these-
a community is not a market, right? Community is not a market.
No, it can't be a market. 100%.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's not wrong at all.
A market. If you are buying a commodity in the market, you no matter what, right? Business. Say you're a machinist, right? Or you build machines. You need oil. You need to buy the cheapest oil. There's no like community. Well, I like Jim the best. I'm gonna buy his oil. I mean, you could do that, but it's like not really practical. No one's gonna really do that.
No,
Right, can I interrupt
a
you?
great example of what
hold
I'm
on.
saying.
Let's Zach talk.
What?
This is all topic. I just wanted to really go, but
Oh yeah, we're
y'all need any resources? Just hit me up on Discord. I was gonna send you the link to the I don't know streaming all the time.
we're streaming on OBS. We're streaming on OBS.
If you're on OBS, then we will be able to do so many wonderful things, and it'll be lovely and great, and everyone will be seeing. Capitalism will hopefully.
Hopefully capitalism will win and no one will come in with the speculation podcast premium and undercut us.
All right, peace out, Zach.
But yeah, dude, I'll hit you up on like when next week Wednesday or Thursday, and we'll just do like a streaming class, me and you 101, and I can hopefully get all this stuff set up for me and Jay to do this on Thursday or something like that. Because that's when we're aiming for, right? We're still doing Thursdays, I'm assuming, unless something changes. But yeah, dude. I mean, thank you so much for calling in because you've been it's been great having a third person here via phone, and we're gonna start doing this as well. I think when you were in the bathroom, we were talking like we're gonna maybe have people call in and stuff like that. We can do like a Discord chat here, have people talk for 5 minutes, jump in, jump out. Like
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I think it would be really cool because
Yeah.
I think having like the third perspective is really great, and I think you're just a fun debater in general. Like you want to debate people, and I think that if we had like Zach here, Alex, whoever, Mikey, and stuff like that, and we can just go in and out and have people like come in and talk, it would really add like a totally new aspect to the show.
Yeah, it'd be great.
It would be sick. And,
It would be.
But we're gonna deny it. No. But awesome. For having us.
Yeah, dude. You have a great night, man.
Oh, Zach or Alex said, I just want to quickly comment, but he said he has a green screen he's trying to donate, so we can put up a green screen here.
Yeah, we'd be willing to take that
Yeah, sure, why
if
not?
you're interested. Vito the master debater. That's what I do. Oh.
This
right,
guy's
thank
a
you.
jerk off.
All
But
right. Peace out, Zach.
yeah, see you, Zach.
Good talking to you. But now let me get back to you were saying a community is
Rip
not a
Char-
market.
Rip Charlie Kirk, man. He says. Yes, rip Charlie
R.I.P.
Kirk. Rip
People
Charlie
don't
Kirk.
deserve to die for speaking.
I agree.
Um,
I'd be so pissed if my woman was running around like that, though. Just saying. Facts. I'd be
no,
pissed
weird
from the
shit.
grave.
Weird shit.
Yeah.
She's weird.
Hmm.
Anyway, that's for the next one. A community is a market. If a community was not a market, small business would not exist. That is a fact.
Yeah, but there's no one that's going to compete on a large scale. Like no one's going to. No
They
small
do that
business.
right now.
I
So many
disagree
small
with you.
businesses charge a significantly more amount of money, and there is no difference from what you buy from them besides maybe customer service because it's a small business so they can deal with it, than a corporation. People choose the small business because it is in their community and they want to support their community.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
That
there's
is true
I think that's
100%.
but I'm saying my whole point about like the idea of like the commodities market and stuff like that and like the Standard Oil example is that the government had to step in to allow small business and allow business to build itself up, right?
They didn't necessarily have to, though.
But it was getting to the point where
Communities were strong. This is where we need the change. People think we need to change the laws and we need to force companies to do this and whatnot. We don't actually. We need to have a community change so that
I
people
think it
actually
works.
come together to support each other. Because if every community supported each other and not the corporations and these big businesses, even if that meant for a while that everybody spent more money on, let's say, something like oil,
Huh?
then the big companies would not be getting the business, even with a cheaper
But
price.
something like oil is the best example because it's something that every business and person needs. Like especially in like the modern society, we need oil. We need oil to run cars and everything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Modern machines, airplanes, ships, everything. So one company cannot control the price of oil going up and down. It would be bad for the market essentially, right? The
It's
community.
up to
Well,
people
hold on,
who buy it.
but we all consume oil. All of us, every single person.
No, but
needs
it's
oil.
up to the people who buy it as to where they buy it from.
Yeah, but if one company owns it all, then you have no choice in where you buy it.
That doesn't make sense though. You just said from that one movie, oh, this guy found his own oil, made his own well.
Yeah,
Why is this community not supporting him? Why are they going to
because
the
the
bigger guys?
oil market,
Just because it's cheaper.
the oil market is not about like it's about buying. It's about distributors buying barrels to distribute to consumers.
Yeah, so we need
All
a
right,
community change where that doesn't happen.
community when you're talking, I think you're trying to take the community aspect for something like a small business, right, and applying it to a giant macro concept, right? Community works for like if me and you owned a small diner and all of our friends came to our small diner and we served them lunch and they're supporting us and we're supporting them and we're like, yeah, we're a small town and we're doing something where they're not going to McDonald's. Instead, they're gonna buy food, they're gonna pay a little bit more, but they're gonna buy food from us. That would work. But something like oil is too large to possibly for someone to be an individual and operating on that
No,
scale,
I
in my opinion.
disagree. I think you're thinking of community too conservatively because community could be small businesses helping other small businesses. So the guy who finds the oil and makes his own well can offer to the businesses around him, these smaller businesses, to produce them with the oil that they need.
But that's a lot of wheeling and dealing that, like, yeah, I guess you could do
Oh
from
my
one small
god, fucking
business.
boo-hoo, bro. It's a lot of wheeling and dealing. This is
Yeah,
what we need. We need the wheeling and dealing.
I
And if
mean,
we
yeah,
want to actually make things better for each other, we need people to work hard towards it. We need to take the not easy route. We need to actually come together, whether it's small business or individual, to help each other in all aspects. And once that happens, these big businesses will not control us anymore, but they will continuously control us if we don't ever do that. Tell me there's a way around it. Tell me that, oh, well, like the law controls it, so now it doesn't happen. They're going to find loopholes. That's what they've done throughout history every
of
single
course they're
time.
going to,
They're going to, and
but I'm
there's
saying
never going to be a way
the
around that.
operation's too large
Because
that
there's
it can.
no loophole. There's no loophole, and there's no operation too large because we outnumber them significantly. The people outnumber the big business significantly if they were to
The big
actually
business
come together.
has more resources. That's why they
Okay,
win.
the more resources doesn't matter
Why does it not matter?
because there's enough oil from small people to distribute to the other small people. But there's
Yeah,
not enough
but
oil.
when there's no
There's
one
not
making
enough
when no one
oil.
is making money in that scenario, when the small people are trading with the small people, and no one's making any money because they're operating not on margins but instead on some kind of virtue, then they're not going to do it anymore, right? When you have
They're
such
not
a
gonna
large
not make
operation, hold
money.
on. When you have such a
They're
large
not gonna
operation,
not make
you
money.
can afford to squash people that are smaller than you. That's what happens every single day in business, constantly, right? I'll full disclosure, we both worked at a liquor store, right? Um, if a if a major liquor store opened near our small liquor store, right, they are able to sell the product way cheaper than us because they have more resources, aka they have more land storage and relationships with the distributors, right? So they can buy more stuff at a cheaper price and afford to undercut us. They can sell it at cost and get our customers away from us. And then when we are at down and out and out of business, then they can raise their prices again because they're manipulating the market because they have more resources.
See, you're saying that to me as if it's like super obvious, but the
It was obvious.
majority of small businesses that are successful right now don't buy from the small guy. They buy from the big guy, and they can afford to buy from the small guy, but they're not because they're selfish.
Because
they have
there's
no
another
sense of community.
because you're talking about a middleman that's selling to both those people.
No,
They're selling to both the big guys and the small guys.
no, the big guys are selling to the small guys when the small guys could be selling to the small guys with them.
Yeah, but eventually that
That's not a
doesn't work.
middleman.
It eventually doesn't work. You're not realizing like how
You're
a
saying that
big
doesn't
business
work, but that doesn't make sense. You're saying
because eventually when someone is not making money, you go out of business.
they're gonna be making money still.
But you understand if
you know the place we work
if
at,
you
right?
are if you are one small business, right, and you only do business with another small business, right? Here are the two small businesses, right? Here they are. Um, and eventually the big business up here sees this, and what they do is that they use their resources, they use their power, connections, whatever, and they lower their prices down to the point where these two guys cannot compete and are not making any money, and they both don't exist. And that guy, the big business always wins because they can afford to take a loss to take the big guy out of business. This example I could possibly think of. Why is there only two?
You don't get
Why
it.
is there only two hardware stores in the entire country? There's Lowe's and there's Home Depot. There is smaller hardware stores out there, but it's few and far between because they have all the connections with all the major distributors that create all the best products, and they can afford to undercut you. Lowe's and Home Depot will do that to get someone else out of business.
So you're telling me that there's no chance the community could come together and be like,
I'm not saying there's no chance.
not
There's
listening to what I'm
anything
saying.
is possible. Anything is possible, Jason. Anything is sorry, but anything is possible. All right, but it is like unlikely because that is what will always happen because you have so much resources. You have so much resources as a big company that you're able to squash those people. And again, this is not like this is not a virtue thing. This is not because I believe hard enough my business will prevail. If I'm not making any money, I have to close the doors, right? But it's just a side. That's a fine.
Not making money though.
You're not missing.
You're talking about no. You're missing the fact that the hardware stores, all right, Lowe's and Home Depot, they keep making their prices lower and lower and lower. Imagine nobody cared. I'm still gonna go to the small guy who's charging me 3 times more than these giant corporations.
Hold on. We are talking in circles a little bit. Alex did have a question. Answer in
Yeah.
2 minutes. Each want to hear both your opinion. What was his question?
No, he was saying all his questions, which
Oh, all
was
of his
what we are on right now.
Okay.
So Lowe's and Home Depot keeps making their product cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Imagine the community said, "Fuck you, I don't care. I'm gonna continue going to the other hardware store and buying their shit for the same." They don't have to raise their price because Lowe's and Home Depot is lowering their price more and more and more. I don't need to raise my price, but I'm not gonna lower it to compete because my community comes together and buys from me. You're saying it's unlikely. Unlikely. Yes, it's unlikely. But we need a communal change so that that is what happens.
That's a lot of wishing, though.
It's not wishing.
It is,
It's
though.
being realistic. If the American people actually want things to continuously get better for the American people, then we need to stop helping people that aren't a part of the community. You're saying it's wishing, but it's not wishing. It's basic understanding and explaining. Nobody explains this to the people. Nobody does.
But
Nobody
it's not
explains this
whose
to the
job
people.
it is to explain to people. I mean, I completely agree with you. I think you should.
It's not necessarily
I think
somebody's job, but it's more of a
I think you should support small business, but it's like, again, when the giant business has like lawyers that go to the government and account managers that are managing the $1 billion like acquisition and deals with the major companies, like we were just talking about Home Depot, like they can negotiate with DeWalt for 1 million drills
Yeah.
versus like, Bill's hardware store can only get 25 units, right?
Okay, and imagine the
So,
people came together and didn't buy the million drills.
right. But I'm saying
Things
they are
would
not
be
they are
hard.
not dude, they are not the people are not negotiating with DeWalt for the million drills. Home Depot is. They are the big creditor, right? They have the resources with the bank. They will take out the giant loan to make money. They will have the giant Black Friday sale that they can undercut and even lose money on just so that they can move inventory and flip it and get the next deal and the next deal and the next
Yes,
deal.
but what you don't get is that the community does decide whether or
course the
not
community
those
decides.
things are going to be
But
purchased or not
but there's no
from them.
but there's no community in a multinational corporation, right? The corporation,
There is if there's no product selling.
yeah, but there's no
If Home Depot has 1 million drills made and only 500 sell, and then the small guy has 1,000 drills made and 1,000 sold, who just sold more drills?
I agree with you on that, but it's like that's an if and when scenario. I feel like, right?
Okay, bro, and do you think our founding fathers, when they were under the British rule, were like, oh, if and when? We'll see what happens.
All right, hold
Or
on.
did they actually take action to change something?
So okay, so Alex said something about Tix and Bill Gates. When would pay-per-view live executions lower crime rates? If so, what would be the punishable offense? How much would it cost? Where would they be held? Public executions? I mean, hey, I don't know.
Pay-per-view.
I think obviously like maybe they should be before the UFC fights or something like that. Maybe before the Super Bowl.
Maybe.
We take the worst rapists in West Virginia or something like that, and we just blow his brains out. You know, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. It could be done like
I don't
I feel like that'd be an early morning thing.
know.
You know what I mean? It's like oh, like 7 o'clock news. We're killing the dude who raped 20 little girls.
Good morning, America.
Yeah,
7
good
a.m.
morning. Yeah. Start your day off right.
Yeah.
Watch this guy get his brain blown to bits.
I mean, I don't know if we're like again, I always talk about that movie Idiocracy. Like, I don't know if we're that far away from something like that. I mean, we just had all you would have to do realistically is that you would have to get like a girl that went to school for marketing and then she did enough market research to be like, well, actually people do like public executions. And then Nike's going to go, okay. Call someone to ABC. Let's see if we can get one of those.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get one of those going. Then you'd have the public executioner with the Nike axe, the Nike hood on top, slamming the guy's head. That'd be great. I mean, honestly, I don't know if that would actually even stop any crime. I think that would probably make people like kind of go a little bit nutty for like at least a
But
couple
he's
months.
saying though, let's get into his question.
Hold on, before that, I really have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I am actually really
Yeah.
interested in this thing.
Tix and Bill Gates we did speak about before.
Okay.
If you missed that, it's pretty simple. I mean, nobody's with Bill Gates, bro. Like, we all think he needs to be arrested in some sort of sense, and what he's doing is extremely sketchy. The combination of funding bioengineering with ticks and diseases, and then also funding creating synthetic meat is very sketchy. And why are these boxes of ticks showing up on farms? And why is the uh, amount of bites increasing by 100-fold over the past 10 years? We talked about it, but that's our stance on it, where it's like, no, it's weird. Bill Gates should be arrested, or at least investigated. Let me say that. He should be investigated. Pay-per-view live, would it lower crime rates? I don't think so, because I think of Chris Hansen with To Catch a Predator. I'll get Joe's opinion on that. I think he'd agree with me. I don't think it would lower the rates. But it could be used as a tool to make more money serving justice. You know, um, how to lower the rates? We need stricter policy, man. I say this all the time. Our judicial system is really fucked up. A guy could sexually assault a girl, beat his wife, steal a bunch, and he's out of jail in 3 days. But You know, you say something about Israel and you're getting locked up. It's ridiculous. So I was saying, Joe, he said, would pay-per-view live executions lower crime rates? I said no, because I think of
Eh.
Chris Hansen and I think of how he would expose pedophiles.
Hmm.
But pedophilia rates have only gone up.
Yeah.
But on the upside, I think it could make a lot of money, and that money could be used towards good.
Maybe. I mean, what are we gonna do with it? Fund PBS? I don't know. I mean, I think that
I think it would be a good thing. I think it would just generate money. I don't think it would actually affect crime rates.
I
'Cause
don't know.
again, like the pedophiles. But
You know what it is? My brain immediately goes to like the Roman Colosseum, and I think back to like how bored and illiterate like many of the people in Roman times were, and how
all right,
that.
we'll make it quick, bro, because we're trying to.
Well, I'm just saying like that.
I'm just saying. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
continue.
Well, I'm saying like that was a time where like we actually had like legitimate sanctioned entertainment violence,
Yeah.
where people were going and they were watching and like being greatly entertained by killing, basically. And that really hasn't, like, if we were to bring it back and publicly like televise executions, that'd be kind of a form of like barbarism. I could see where it's like, I don't know if this is good or not. I don't think it would actually really do much though.
Yeah, I think it would
Right?
generate money. That's it.
Yeah,
That's what I
it would
think.
be a business. And I honestly don't even think it would
And he
be
says,
like,
if so, what would be the punishable offense? I think, you know, that would be up for debate, but I feel like most people would generally agree with murder, rape, stuff of the same caliber.
it would probably be someone, it would be like people that were on death row that like volunteered for it, basically.
Not even volunteer, but it's like if you're on death row, that's like the punishable offense. If you do something worthy of putting you on death row, then you're probably
But death row like could be years though. People like
no,
stick
I
on
know it
death
takes
row
like
for
20 years.
yeah,
I
it
know.
takes so long.
Takes a very long time.
So like
How much would it cost? However much a bullet cost in a gun. That's what I
so
think.
like I
That's
guess
what I think it should cost. How much would it cost knowing our government? Probably $1 billion.
yeah, I was gonna say there would be like a billion technicalities because like a
Um,
million lawyers would get involved.
where would they be held? In my perfect world, there should be a sky base that we create, isolating them from everyone perfectly.
Super Bowl.
And the only way that they could escape is by jumping off and killing themselves.
So like the Avengers like fucking thing. Like you remember like
I don't know about that.
I'm just saying like they had that ship.
I'm saying like I don't know what that is.
Well, in the Avengers they had that fucking that ship that was a flying like basically like how like aircraft carrier.
Was it a prison?
I don't remember what it was, but I just remember that from the movie.
See, like in my head, where are they being held? Flying prison. Taxpayers only pay for the gas and a couple people that work there. And then if they try to escape,
I think
they
the
jump off and fall to their death and splat on the ground. Um, and there's cameras watching the area. It's in a obviously it's not like a city or anything. It's in a very secluded place with barriers, a fence, no trespassing, anything. And if they fall to their death, that video is publicly posted. I don't know on YouTube or some shit.
great movie suggestion, and they just remade it. The Running Man. The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger is like criminals. They
Oh, to watch the live executions, how much would it cost? I feel like $50 a person's pretty.
pay per view price.
What
Like
is
what?
pay per
How?
view price?
I think like pay per view for like UFC is like what, like $200, $100.
I think it should be cheaper because this is like you got to be into UFC to pay for that. You know, being into justice is less niche than UFC.
Yeah, but this is like death sanctioned by the government.
But it's run by the government, so I feel like it should be cheaper than something privately used.
Okay, yeah, sure.
That's how I feel.
I mean, it's
If
gonna
you
be
think it should be average, sure.
regardless of anything. It's gonna be stolen and put online regardless.
We're saying between probably $50 to $200.
I mean, I honestly, this is my last thought on it. I honestly think if there was enough market research, they would make it a thing.
Yeah,
Again,
100%.
if there was like a marketing girl or someone that was like did enough research and they found out that the public is ready to see public executions with commercials in between, like The Running Man. Again, great movie. Watch that because it's like
See, that's where when older people say people are too soft these days, I think they're wrong. Where it's like you're too soft. If you weren't too soft, we'd have shit like this. I think
I don't know if we
I
should.
think younger people are younger generations are more realistic when it comes to punishment. That's why we have laws where it's like a dude could beat his wife and get off scot free, but if he steals some tax money, oh no, he's going to jail for 20 years. It's ridiculous.
That's
And I
true.
think the older generations have created that sort of space, because they voted in politicians and they've allowed lawyers who go to school for this stuff and whatnot to basically create the system of you can beat your wife, but you can't take money from a credit card company. You know what I mean? It's like beating your wife is way better than taking money from a giant company where if you no matter how much you took, it wouldn't really affect the company. It's
I
it's
agree with
it's
that.
it's insane.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But yeah, that's all the comments. I think we should wrap this up, man.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty late, so I think we should probably call it. I think.
Yeah, thank you fellas for watching. All the
I think
comments,
I
they're
think it was a
great.
successful stream. Tune in for episode 10 next Thursday. I think we're gonna have a lot more fun stuff to do, to be honest with you, because our good friend Scrubby, go subscribe to him on twitch.tv.
Yeah.
Scrubby.tv.
Yeah, I don't think
Um,
it'll be better.
I disagree. But we're gonna have a lot more fun stuff once we get all that figured out. And we can get the stream going. I think we can have like people call in on Discord and whatnot. I'm gonna talk to Zach and get that figured out.
Yeah, word.
You know, so we can debate people on if the government should provide people with like walkers